Oh wow, it's live. Hey, Brother John.
Hey, Ermine.
Oh, our
Yes, we
dad
are.
entertained. What is the topic today?
None really.
You have such a great laugh. Oh, none really. Um,
What's on your mind? That's the topic.
what's today? What do we have? This 18th? I think it's just a real. I'm wondering if Pluto's gone retrograde, or if we have like a full moon coming up. It just feels like there's a lot of things coming together in these next 3 days. And just trying to get them figured out is I guess all that there is, but just seems like a big time of transition.
You're into astrology?
Not so much necessarily, but it just feels like that. It's like that you just wonder like are the poles changed? Something just feels like just different energy, different
Mm.
flow. I don't know. I don't want to sound too hokey because I know you guys can't stand that sometimes, but something feels different than. Yeah, and it could just be this time of year coming into the holidays. I don't know. But we have what record snowfall tonight in parts of New York or the Northeast. Been
Really? I haven't seen any.
They were saying Buffalo is supposed to get like 4 to 5 feet.
Oh, well, okay. That's Buffalo. All right, yeah. That's north of me.
Yeah, right, right.
Okay.
Then they said,
Certainly is colder than I think it should be.
yeah, like kind of we can see some record lows this cold snap. So I thought that was interesting. It was 7 below where I was at a few days ago.
Ouch.
That was the cold, luckily. I mean, the low. Um, I don't know. Did they make a decision on Ferguson? Did they vote to indict her?
I haven't really been paying too much attention to it.
That was supposed
I
to be, they called a state of emergency, not knowing what the outcome would be. So I just wanted to, that was
You're
like,
expecting some kind of riot?
oh
Or
yeah.
they've been rioting?
Let's see here.
Now, the last thing I heard was apparently there was somebody in a videotape with a phone or something, and it's supposed to help collaborate with the police officer. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't heard, I haven't followed it as much. Um,
That's the last thing I heard, and that was like a week ago.
let's see, 3 hours ago, they say that the mayor did what? We already know that he filed a state of emergency. Ferguson Commission?
Now we go to the middle of the country, Ferguson,
Oh,
Missouri, and this tense
so all of this
standby
is
period.
probably something that can't be on air. Sorry about that. That just automatically started.
It's okay. Uh, it sounds like if I got his voice, definitely from mainstream media. What was it, NBC? Something like that?
That was NBC, yeah.
Yeah. So these changes you're sensing, is it something more personal maybe for you, or you're seeing, I
Okay.
don't know.
Um, well, it's definitely a little bit something personal for me, but I feel like, some of my friends are starting books, others are getting in relationships, others are getting out of them. It's just like, what is going on this time of year? Seeing if possibilities will pan out or fail, seeing it's so many different people, so many different situations, and it's all just coming to fruition or otherwise around now. I don't know. And it could just be the select, few. I would say, like, honestly, like 20 to 30 people. I mean, I've heard of people with nuptials coming. I mean, like, great weddings that just it's wild. And maybe I'm just noticing it because I'm on a different tune lately. Who knows?
Are you thinking about like your own relationships or your own relationship desires or?
Well, I just gave the relationship example. There's also, I've seen
Okay.
stuff in business, in art. It's, I guess we just had an election. I mean, I don't know. I've just seen a lot. Um, yeah, I'm interesting because I'm just old, is what I call it. Is probably fair to say.
You're not old.
I'm old, and I just get clearer and clearer on what I want
Hmm.
and kind of what I won't have either. So it's kind of it's
I hear you.
a,
I just told my wife the other day, the older I get, the less tolerance I have for bullshit.
that's totally fair, isn't it? I used to have, when I started work, it was really funny. I had about an 80-20 productivity to bullshit ratio, and anytime it tipped above 20, I just had to find a new job. So I worked at some pretty big companies, and I don't know if it was disenfranchised, exhausted, whatever it was, but the bullshit got above 20%. And I remember I was going to a big ad agency next, and I was explaining somebody my 80-20 rule, and they're like, honey, at your age, it needs to be flipped. Like, you have to put up a hell of a lot more bullshit than you're willing to get to the next level. And I just cracked up at that, like, how much of an entitled Gen Y was I, or Gen X, whatever, where it was like, I'm not putting up with that much bullshit, so I quit. It's wild.
How long ago was that?
Oh gosh, that was probably, how long have I been doing this? Oh, I would say maybe 12 years ago I had my first. I'm not putting, no, 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 like 14 years ago, I'm not putting up with this bullshit.
So does that rule still apply?
I put up with more than 20% bullshit now. I had to learn the lesson the hard way. Um,
Put up with it now so you don't have to put up with it later.
that's yes, exactly. So if I'm getting a late start.
Mm,
It's a little different now because I'm in the driver's seat, but the hogwash I put up with, and it's not all clients, but a couple of them, really send me through the ringer, and I put up with a lot, but I learn a lot from them too. Um,
this whole idea, like changes in relationships, like around, you mentioned around this time, I could kind of see that. You have like, Thanksgiving's like what, next week?
mhm.
Something like that. And I guess that could be a time of testing for many relationships, especially ones that are just starting out, the family gatherings are gonna happen, you know. Um, some people exposed to another person's family for the first time. I don't know, maybe it questions some people's relationship, how serious they are.
Mhm, mhm.
Do I really want to introduce this person to my parents? Kind of thing.
Totally, totally.
Or, come on, aren't you gonna meet my parents for the holidays?
Mhm. Yeah, you definitely get both of them. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've had a couple of meet the families in my life.
because it kind of kind of sends the relationship into another level.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I've had one time very soon after I was done, one time very soon after he was done, and one time it just didn't work. And that was later. But it's a riot.
yeah.
Oh
And
yeah,
here's a man who doesn't worry about any relationships. Hey, Ruben.
that's good. And you have some sense on you. You have some home training. I'll see you bothered with too much foolishness that some of the folks do around here. I think everyone respects you, Brother John.
Well, that's nice to hear, because you don't hear it enough.
Well, it's true.
I
They don't
appreciate that.
pull shenanigans your way or get you embroiled in too much, you know, hogwash is all I'll say.
I try to, you know, I try to keep, I don't know, I have a mild temper,
Well,
try to
that's
keep
that's
things
part of it.
even.
You don't partake in some of the shenanigans, much of the shenanigans.
Yeah.
You might crack a joke here or there, but that's like your extent. You know what I mean? It's nice. It's refreshing.
Well, thank you.
Um, Speaking of which, where is everybody? Oh, Reuben joined, and gosh, I just had my eyes
And yeah,
closed.
Frank just joined. Hey, Frank.
And
Yeah, what's going on?
these, I was gonna say, you're like Frank. You have some of the similar qualities. Frank doesn't get involved with too much shenanigans.
Yeah, it's a waste of breath. My breath is extremely important.
Yeah. So is our time, as we were talking about.
Time and breath. You only have so many.
So, sure. I think it's funny that you guys are from the Northeast and you're some of the most chill people we've ever met. Because when you think of like New York and New Jersey, chill is not what comes to mind.
Mm,
Well, this probably going to be a survival mechanism because the best way to deal with chaos is calmness.
Hmm.
and I moved out of the city 7 years ago, so it's definitely affected me for the better. That's for sure. Fresh air, less chaos, lots of parking spots.
Yeah, if you have a car in the city, something's wrong with you. I think the best things about the city is that you don't drive a car.
Probably. My friends, who a lot of them that grew up in New York City, don't know how to drive, and I just kind of look at them like, huh? You mean don't know how to drive a stick shift, right? No, no, no. Don't know how to drive. I'm like, what? And I forget, yeah, there's just some places where you don't need
My parents never drove. I mean, we didn't live in the heart of the city. Like I think, like Frankie's talking like Manhattan, but some of the outskirts. I mean, a car can be necessary. I don't know. I guess it all depends, but it's still difficult. It can be still difficult to get spots and stuff like that. But my parents, they didn't drive. My father, he worked for uh, the public transportation, the MTA.
it.
So, he had his, free pass to go on any bus or train he needed to go. And, my mom just didn't learn to drive. She pretty much stayed local. Yeah.
So when you guys go to the grocery store and stuff, like nobody goes to Costco, nobody goes to like a King Supers or a big old Whole Foods. You just kind of go to because I think of like driving. Half the reason I drive is to go to the grocery store.
Well, New
Where I
Jersey's
am,
like that.
Oh, okay.
yeah, where I am, I mean, within a mile or two, I can get to a pretty big store.
No, but
And I
since
don't,
I moved at this certain area, I'm more local. Like I don't go to like big supermarkets. I try to go to like mom and pop shops.
Well,
Because I think going to Costco and Walmart, I'm pretty much against it.
yeah, no, I agree with that one. Like I have to be broken down on the side of the road and have huffed 5 miles before I go, oh, I'll be quiet because we're on air. But to some stores, let's just say. And then other stores I go to frequently and spend too much money. Costco being one of them. But we don't really have mom and pop grocers. And if you go there, their prices are like 7-Eleven prices. It's like prohibitive.
Yeah, sort of thing with groceries. There's places where they're fresh,
Yeah,
and we usually go there. They're actually cheaper.
yeah.
So we try to go to those places more than anything else. The only store that we actually go to, like it's like Walmart, is BJ's. But I'm trying to wean people off of it.
Well,
You
that's
know,
fine. We have BJ's. I mean, no, we don't have BJ's here, but I've heard of them. Is it like Trader Joe's almost?
no, it's more like a smaller version of Walmart.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really weird. You have BJ's, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's where you have to like be a member, right? You pay an annual
yeah, it's like
fee,
but
Sam's Club kind of deal.
the store is smaller
Mm,
than Costco's and Walmart.
Okay.
yeah.
Mm.
Because the problem with, and this is one problem, there's many problems with Walmart and these big stores, is that they take up a lot of energy. Because these are huge buildings that require massive amount of energy, and they take also small businesses away,
Yeah, yeah, I do.
and it's not, it becomes not community based, which I'm a big proponent of. I'm a big proponent of community based uh, environments.
Mm.
Right, do you have like a Dollar General? Because that in your area?
A Dollar General, we have dollar stores, but not Dollar General.
A Dollar General, yeah. I mean, they're kind of like they sell a little of everything. You can get groceries there, you can get clothes, you can get cleaning supplies, pet
Yeah.
supplies. It's a little thing, and they're inexpensive. But yet the store is not as big as a Walmart. It's kind of a local store. Um,
They probably have that in South Jersey and Pennsylvania. That
yeah.
sounds more like that. Like we just opened up a Wawa's up north,
Hmm.
which is very rare. And what happened is that the people from South Jersey is actually coming all the way up north just to hang out in Wawa's. It's
Really?
crazy as shit, man. Like I've never seen these people in my life. The big pickup trucks, it's just South Jersey type of. There's a big difference between South and North Jersey. They even have a different type of lingo. And I'm like, who are these people? It's like these are South Jerseyans. I'm telling you,
Now,
it's
when
like
you
hang out.
when you say South Jersey, you mean like towards like Atlantic City?
Yeah,
No.
I'm
Okay.
talking Ocean County,
Ocean County.
Cumberland County, Grocer, New Philadelphia to Cape May,
Mm.
That's down south.
And you certainly don't want to go to Camden.
I heard about Camden.
Yeah, that's like the worst place in the United States.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Oh, you haven't been to Houston yet.
Oh, Camden is actually the worst place in the United
is.
States.
It is, I mean, highest crime rate.
Oh,
Yeah,
kidding.
You do
there's
not want
only
to go.
90,000 people in that city.
Oh, wow, that's scary.
And they have from last, I think about a year or so ago, was it, Frank? They actually cut back the fire and police departments.
Yeah, who
Um,
wants to be
yeah.
there? Nobody wants to go there. Canton is famous for the Campbell's Soup Factory.
Is it?
Yes, it is. That's what it's known for.
Is it still there?
Yes, it's still there.
Oh shit! Because the rent's cheap.
Yeah, you probably could get a house easy, 100 grand.
It might get burglarized 4 times a year, but
Burglarize?
yeah.
Oh, everybody's robbing each other, even the cops.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's bad. It's just, it's worse than Detroit.
Mm.
Right now, Chicago is like the big city that's having issues, and Camden is still topping that.
Um,
Yeah. So you thought New York City was bad, I mean.
Yeah, Camden. They just abandoned that city.
well, the thing about New York is I've never been in a sketchy neighborhood, and if I have, I haven't been anywhere around even dusk or dawn. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So nothing bad ever happened to me in New York except I got a stalker for like an hour, and this chick was crazy. And then I was on I think it was the 3 or the 5, I can't remember, like Rockware, I can't remember. And this guy was masturbating behind me.
Oh, that's usual. Like when I'm
Yeah,
in New York
exactly.
City,
Those
I,
are the
I,
two bad
I
things
actually
that can
feel
happen.
safe.
What?
When I'm in New York City, I actually feel safe
Yeah.
because I'm from Patterson, and there's parts of Patterson that I wouldn't even go to this day.
Whoa.
Yeah, like places in New Jersey, the problem is that there are hidden areas
Hmm.
that you don't want to go into. There's like no lighting, no, and it's just is a recipe for disaster. And I was basically born and raised in that city.
Yeah, I grew up in, we call it Pleasantville, which is Boulder, Colorado.
Okay.
And like the hood, like Section 8 is like palatial, right? There's no mice, there's no rodents, there's no bugs, and it's like everything's brand new. Like housing is like 10 years old. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just
Wow.
hoods, you know? Everything's like for the most part there's a few like hoods for housing, but everything is like mixed income. So every single neighborhood, whether it's buy or rent, like has every class of people, and like the median income is 80,000 a year, and so even the poor are
Wow.
really poor here. Yeah, a lot of trust fund kids. But my whole point is, like growing up, it was always safe. Like if like we heard of one gun violence where someone shot someone, Baltazar did, and he made him like a quadriplegic or something, and he did some time, and now he's out and like living his life. We had a couple friends die of drinking and driving. I guess the most deaths every year, it's always like there's some shock from parents when their kids commit suicide. Um, and then you have kids that do drugs and probably some illicit things sexually, but that's about it. Um, there really isn't like crime. Like we had a murder here. The last murder was Jean Benet Ramsey. Since then, what was that, 90 something? Haven't had a murder. It's just so different. Like
Wow.
never locked my doors when I grew up. The doors to the house never got locked. Car doors, very rarely. You could warm your car outside on a cold day and it would not even, like, the dream of it getting stolen, like, that just never happened. Um, you wave to your neighbors when you pass them by on the streets while you're driving or walking. You have them over for dinner, the close ones, at least twice a year, at least. And your kids babysit for their kids and house sit, and some neighbor has your key, a spare key, even though you probably have a code to get into your house. Um, it's
Sounds
just
like paradise.
but it actually ruins it because then you grow up and you go and you move and you realize you're not in Kansas anymore, and your car gets broken into not once but twice in the past like 30 days because you keep making the same mistake. You lock all your doors. You don't really smile as much and make conversation with random strangers. You just like you have to watch yourself, and you
Hmm.
never had to do that before. You have to toughen up. You have to know when it's okay to cuss someone out for stealing your spot or letting it go. You have to. I mean, it's just all these different things that you just have to learn, like, and you're not that street smart.
Yeah, you have to adjust, and sometimes that adjustment period becomes very stressful.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like think about it. You go through life thinking everybody's great, and then you realize, oh, there are bad people out there.
Wow, I'm so glad I had the opposite happen to me.
Yeah, I have the opposite too. Like, I think this is why I'm so nice. At the same time, you have to be on guard, but do you find a balance there?
It was strange moving out here. People, yeah, waving hi, and everybody friendly. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that's what happened to me when I went to South Carolina. I actually freaked out. I freaked out. People were so nice that I couldn't take it. I was like, I gotta get the hell out of here.
That's hilarious.
And it's not that New Yorkers are unfriendly, because they'll be probably some of the first ones to help you out if you're in distress.
Yeah, I
It's
think
that most people are they're very to themselves for the most part,
Yeah.
you know.
I think it's more about the attitude,
Hmm.
but underneath the hard surface, people are genuinely nice. Because I think the defense is put up first because, there's a lot of crazy people out there.
Mm.
It's just through experience.
Yeah, I guess there are some crazies. I didn't meet them unless they were in my family.
Oh, families are freaking nuts.
Oh, that's why the holidays, I don't know why we
Excuse
so close.
I actually do not like the month of November.
Why?
Because it gets really dark and cold and just
Yeah.
dry cold.
Yeah.
And, Thanksgiving is probably the only day, but at the same time, you have to deal with family members. Yeah, which I have to deal with family members regardless, but I don't know. It's just something about it that I never liked November. I just felt it was a very isolated, cold, dark month.
All right, so Brother John, this could go to what I was talking about. There's something about this time where it's like new
Yeah.
beginnings, endings, something like it's something about it. Ruben's not chatting. Where'd he go?
Mm.
I like December because of Christmas, but the only reason why I like Christmas is because of the lights.
Hmm.
The lights, something about putting lights all over your house in the snow, it's awesome.
Well, there you go. You have that symbolism going on again, You hear, the days are getting shorter. That's why, so it's darker longer. It's kind of gloomy, November. And December 21st, you have the winter equinox. That's the whole, right? The meaning, the bringing the light back into the world where the days get longer and longer.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess it's does something on the psyche.
Yeah, for me, it's the lights. That's what I enjoy. You know, um, but November is just a dark month. Like I like October because it's Halloween and it's fun.
The
Um,
colors.
yeah, the colors and things like that. It has a character to it. September, I guess things are winding down, but with football season, people starting school, so there's a transition. So it's exciting, but something about November just sucks.
It's like limbo month.
Yeah, it's like a month of freaking limbo, even though it has Thanksgiving. It's like I don't give a crap about Thanksgiving.
I think of February like that. February going into March.
But the thing about February is like
Mhm.
it has that love thing going on, that Valentine's Day.
Oh, see, that's not it. For February, the winter is almost over. That's what I look forward to.
Yeah, with the hearts and stuff. I kind of like that. You know,
It's my daughter's birth month, so I like it.
Yeah, and it's only 28 days, so it's a very short month.
Not as miserable as the.
Yeah, so it's not. I don't. And then March, you know, you're heading towards that time. So I think,
Spring.
yeah, spring, and I love the spring.
Mm.
You see, I have no problems with any other month except November.
See, March is our snowiest month.
Hmm.
Maybe November you should take your vacations, Frank, and go somewhere like
I don't even want to take my vacation. I want to work my ass off in November so I could just become a blur or something.
That's so funny. I've never thought about a month which was my least favorite. Never.
Yeah, I thought about it quite often this month. I was like, I hate this month.
today's fucking cold, man.
Yeah, yeah. I'm having, you know, a couple of beers and Stellas, and so just enjoying myself. I freaking Ryan and Jello, man.
What about him?
I can't hang out with them. They're freaking yelling all, especially Ryan. He's freaking yelling his ass off every time he talks.
I wish he would stop drinking.
By the way, just gonna remind you, we are live.
I don't give a shit. That motherfucker better stop.
Yeah, I mean, he's been told. I'm just saying. Yeah, because every time he's just drinking, and he's been drinking a lot. Ryan, if you're hearing, cut it out.
Yeah, god damn, man.
Put a rain on him, man.
Still talking about flat Earth. Nobody gives a shit
Hey,
anymore.
I thought he deconverted. He deconverted.
No, he's back into this flat Earth now.
Come on, really?
Yes. It's
I
like,
think
what
he just
convinced
does
him?
that purposely to troll.
I don't know. So I started saying that the freaking world is an illusion. And then he starts arguing me about it. I was like, wait a minute, now crazy talking crazy now.
That's it.
uh,
It's the only way you get a lot of attention around these parts. You gotta be crazy.
No, it's true.
oh god.
Speaking of one of the two, anyone know what happened to Beasley?
Well, Beasley's cured.
Oh, is he really?
But he's not here anymore, so I figured that he cured.
Oh, that's hilarious. That is so hilarious.
Either that or he's in a straitjacket.
Last time I seen him, he was so medicated.
Oh,
Yeah, he was extremely medicated.
he had a hard time.
Oh, if he kept going the way he was going to have a heart attack
Mhm.
or a stroke.
And you know what? Sometimes he could be quite insightful.
Oh,
Yes,
At
yes.
certain times, he could be enjoyable, yeah. But sometimes, those rare moments.
Yeah, but he was getting worse through the freaking days.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's becoming a little bit too much. But I'm glad he's okay. I hope he's okay. So
yeah, he so badly wanted to be
say again.
acknowledged. He so badly wanted to be acknowledged.
Yeah, but not through this type of media.
Right, right. Yeah, 'cause
I always find it funny, the thing that people fight the most against is usually something that's going on inside of him, outside themselves. And I try to point that out to Rob. I say, Rob, you talk, and you just didn't see it. You're always talking about the ego, the need to get rid of the ego.
He didn't know what ego meant.
But meanwhile, he was doing everything but that.
He's trying to tell me what the ego is, and I'm trying to tell him, no, it's not that what you think it is.
Hmm.
You need an ego. That's the whole point of an ego. It's the balance between the superego and the id.
Mm.
That's how you develop your ego. You can't take that away.
Mm. I'm just curious. There's a lot of people over the years of Google Plus now that have come and gone.
Well, it's always the case. Even with if you want to call it real life, there's always people coming and going.
Yeah.
Nothing is permanent.
You said years? You've been on Google Plus for years? I mean,
3 years. Started in January of 2011.
they
I'm sorry,
had
June of 2011.
they had Hangouts then or no?
They did. In July for sure. That's when I started. It was a few days later.
Wow.
It was June 26th.
I didn't even know it was that long. Because I just started getting into these Hangouts like in April.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was doing mostly YouTube, and I mean, Stickam you had a couple years back.
Well, that's why I have such like a crew and I bounce around so much because there's just these people that were here since, gosh, if you guys would have seen the first things they had for Hangouts, you would have been horrified.
Hmm.
It made Skype look like Star Wars, or you know what I mean? Like it was just so advanced. It was so behind, but it made other properties look really good. We didn't have the share screen feature. You couldn't go live to. There was no such thing as a Hangout on air. We had to like this guy Cam Meadows created it by using feeding the Hangout feed into Livestream, and then taking the Livestream event and putting it up on his YouTube page. Google never thought that people would be using Hangouts for that. It's made up like the people like we had this thing called Hangout Canopy and Hangout My Hangouts, and it just showed a list of all the Hangouts that you could possibly that you're invited to, private and public, and you could just Hangout hop with this one app or one of these two apps, and you could see 50 Hangouts going on at a time that you were all invited to. And that's how we made so many new friends, because it's in each one of those Hangouts we were invited to, there was 3 or 4 people we didn't know. And so that's why people are like, whoa, you have a lot of followers, because that's, we did circle jerks, we did all these different things to build community back then, and it was just, these group of people who, were just at the beginning, and it's just we've hung out in real life numerous times. We've, seen people get together, relationships dissolve. We've seen it all happen in 3 years, and it's just, there's so much backstory. We used to hang out with Vic and Dotra and Chi Chu. They used to come in our hangouts, or we used to hop into theirs. And these are like the makers of the platform. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And what was his name? I wasn't as fond of him. Oh, Brad Horowitz used to hang out a little bit too. So you built these relationships with community managers, and like if somebody, you got put on test teams, you got all these different things that were just like helping the platform grow. And we sure did, fight for different things on the platform and made our voices heard. And sorry, I'll stop talking. I've been rambling.
No, it's okay.
It was a different world. I mean, it was so much like the Wild Wild West, and everybody was just trying to pick up more friends and more followers. And you see people come and go. You're trying to game the what's hot list to see how you can get to the top of it. We had arguments, like closed arguments with like Google executives on things that people now just take for granted. Something as simple as we didn't have an internal chat when this thing started. We didn't have those mole chats, those external ones. It wasn't linked to mobile. It wasn't. I mean, it was trying to find put the Hangouts together. They were a train wreck. All these special effects, moving things up and down, drop, all this stuff. We didn't have a single app. People just started creating apps because they had a partially open API for Hangouts. And if you knew the people well enough and wanted to create something, that's how Moritz and I can't remember the other guy's name created Hangout Toolbox. it was just a trip, and so um, oh, and you should have seen the cat fighting. Oh my gosh. And at first we all circled the what do they call it? Do you guys remember that the photographers? And then we were like, if I see one more MF sunrise in my stream, I'm gonna like shoot somebody and definitely encircle and block them. So then we all went and like started uncircling the photographers because they were just so annoying. Yeah, and then we encircled all the social media people who like, this is how you do social media. Yep, we got rid of them. Which is funny because that's what I do for a job, but I don't talk about it in social media, that's for sure.
I used to be, this is a while back, this is like 2002,
Hmm.
Yahoo Chat.
Yeah, I heard about that.
That was a freaking disaster.
Why?
Because people kept sending viruses. It was really disorganized, and you couldn't see anybody, but people would talk over each other. So
Oh,
it was just really bad. To a point, I think they stopped it. I don't know if it's still here.
no, it's not around anymore.
No, it's not. It was, you couldn't see anybody. It was just the nastiest bunch of people.
Oh, yeah, when you can't see anyone, people do act really terrible, when there's not that connection there. You're so right. I never tried it. I think I might have been, I don't want to say too young, but definitely too, like not the most tech savvy kid you ever met. All I cared about technology was practical stuff when I was a kid. So like I can type 100 and something ridiculous words a minute, and there was something else. Um, and all I cared about was like writing functions in Excel and like programming in Excel. I didn't care about the ones and zeros or the actual programming language. All I wanted to know was like use some language that was going to make my job or my life easier. Besides that, I couldn't give two hoots about programming. And then came Google. I loved Google.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised when I first came here. I couldn't believe it. It was fun. But there was another program I used to use with people that I knew. It was called Adobe.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Adobe Hangout is actually the best Hangout form that I've ever been to.
Whoa, I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, Adobe, but I think it's more private than anything else.
Yeah.
However, you could go in, you could put your cam on, and then you have your moderators.
Oh,
You raise your hand, you put a hand up, and then they'll just pick you, and you can put four people into a box while they're talking. So it's awesome.
oh.
It's better than Skype for me anyway.
Yeah, I've tried so many different ones from Hall to Uvo to there's another one, Zoom. Zoom's really nice. But they're starting to make it that you have to pay for it.
That
And
sucks.
I don't like monthly recurring bills, Like give me Amazon Prime, $100 for the year, whatever it's gone up to. But I don't want to pay a monthly fee on this crap. Like I'd rather Netflix just charge me $90 or 96, whatever it is per month, 8 times 12, than having monthly fees. Because those invariably, I don't know, you just add them all up and you're like, oh man, that's a car payment.
That's true. Yeah, I'm not going to pay for anything. I know that Doug And I don't know if you told me this or somebody else told me that, you have a Google Hangout and you could invite more than, what, 10 people? You
Mhm.
could have like 20 people there, but you have to pay like a monthly
Yeah,
fee.
yeah, it's a paid service. You get like 15 people, I think, or more.
Yeah, for it's $5 a month, so not that much, but then you get upgraded to your email, you get upgraded storage, you know what I'm saying? It's not just for Hangouts. So he runs it with his business account.
Okay, yeah.
So that
The
kind of,
guy's on 24/7 anyway,
yeah,
so.
no, it's true. It's always his business stuff. And I mean, he might as well because he has the type of job that you can do that. You know what I mean?
Who's this?
Doug Saylor?
Oh, I don't know.
You've
You
been
know,
to his Hangouts a couple of times. You just don't stay long.
Doug Saylor.
He does the dentures, I'm sorry, the orthodontic, uh, like the orthodontia. That's what I should say.
Orthodontia?
I'm making it up. The retainers, stuff like that.
Orthodontics?
Orthodontia, orthodontics, whatever. Yeah, he does that.
Yeah.
Um, no, he's chill though. He's a really nice guy, and he's willing to put up with 99% more crap than I am. Like in my spare time at work, I put up with a lot. Last thing I want to do is put up with it when I'm chilling. So I can take some people that you guys mentioned earlier to a degree, and then I'm just like, I shut down.
What does he do hangouts on? Is it mostly work?
No, it's all public. It's just random topics. He's from New York, but he lives in Tampa now. So he has this like New Yorkan type like voice and attitude and perspective on stuff. It's hilarious. And you can just talk about anything. They like to talk a little bit about tech. They will never have the religious discussions. Hallelujah. That's why I go in there. I don't want to hear any of that.
yeah, that's true. That's one thing that he's so consistent. No religion. And there was a period where I was going to his hangouts a lot, but it's just too chaotic at points.
Yeah, it is. He gets a few people in there that are just toxic or a potato, as he calls them, whatever. And I won't go in when they're in. And I have so many people blocked anymore that I'm just like, I just won't put up with it. I unblocked a couple people a couple weeks ago.
Well, the first time I ever blocked anyone is one of the people from his hangouts that I had to block.
I believe it.
Yeah, it was a little bit too much. I was like, forget, I didn't even reported them. I was like, this is nuts.
Yep. There's a few of them that will they just don't know the limit, or they want to push people to the limits. Like there was one guy who, the person you mentioned, his sister is disabled. And he was like, oh, they should have just took her out as a baby out back and shot her. That's what he said to him.
Wow.
I was like, that would have been a permanent block.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I actually blocked this Indian girl. You know, she invited me to a hangout, and she's there at the hangout with three other guys, and they're all showing their penises. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? And I keep like blocking. That's funny. That's what I was like. She invited me back and said, "Why did you leave?" And I was like, "I don't like to show my penis. I don't do that." I was like, "Well, you don't have to, but I'm gonna watch." I was like, "No, no, no. I'm done. I'm blocking."
Like, why the hell did you invite me here?
I know, right? This is like, wait a minute. Do you want me to see penises with you or something? Like, what the hell?
I cannot imagine. I can't.
Yeah, she looked like a very nice girl, very sweet, nice girl, and then all of a sudden I'm going to this room and seeing a bunch of penises. I'm like, what's yeah.
Did you see her was she on camera?
Yeah, she was a freaking camera, nice looking girl. Like I would never thought.
I just would never do that if I was a guy because, like, they're probably taking pictures and making fun of you.
Oh, wait, hold on. Say that again.
The girl is probably taking pictures and making fun of you later.
Well, these guys weren't shy. I don't even think they were having a conversation. The guy was just taking down the pants.
Sometimes I wonder if some cultures are just so repressed or some people are so,
Yeah,
I
I,
don't know what it is.
I believe that. It looks like Ruben's awake as soon as I said penis.
He's up now.
He's up.
No pun intended.
It looks like what happened to Ruben? What do you mean awake? Okay. Oh man, oh Bible Geek, oh it's just unfair. Yeah, that was the first time I ever blocked someone finally. And then I had to block Brandon. And that's another person
Yeah.
I
I haven't seen him around.
I seen him actually. He was at some theistic hangout.
Oh, that one by Benny.
I think so. I think it was.
What's
He's
the
actually
challenge?
talking. Yeah.
What's the challenge with him?
I don't know. It was just,
Brandon?
yeah, it was a lot of weird stuff.
He's definitely mentally challenged.
Wait, was it like he says mean stuff or is it he's just
He doesn't say anything.
Yeah, he doesn't say anything, but sometimes he says things that are really s- dangerous. Like, yo, take it easy. Like,
If you seen him on camera, you would know what we're talking about.
yeah, but he was actually talking. But the
Yeah.
problem was is that Stizer was in the
oh,
Stiers was in the same room?
yes.
Surprised. God, how can anyone get a word in edgewise style?
I'm sorry, but I love Sty, man. He is freaking entertaining, man.
Yes.
you have to get him one on one and then you can have a good conversation.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like he's in a hangout with other people, I'm not gonna say anything.
Just sit back and eat the popcorn, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know the guy
Sure,
I think I've been most there's been a couple of people I've been really worried about. There was a guy who dresses up as like a lion.
Oh, I was just looking through my circles, man. I was wondering about where Phantom Lion's been.
Yeah.
He just has me worried.
Yeah.
Like, there's part of it I was just like, oh my gosh, either
Well,
you're
apparently Redline tried to help him out, and the guy just fucked up. So that's the last I heard, you know?
yeah. What do you mean Red Lion tried to help him out and
He
the
helped
guy?
him out, man. He put a whole video out there. He traveled, helped him get his he got kicked Phantom got kicked out of some house. He had to get his stuff, and Redline, drove him. God, I don't even know where they drove a few hundred miles. I forgot where they went.
Wait a minute, it's somebody actually met him like in real life?
Yeah, Redline has. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
He
that.
did a whole video on it, on their whole trip. Yeah.
Was he
Wow.
dressed up as a lion?
And they came back with his stuff, and he wanted to help him out. But Redline set some ground rules down apparently, and this guy broke the rules. You try to help somebody out, and they don't want to be helped. So that's the last I heard. He was just fucked up. I was hoping to see Phantom Lion at the Halloween party. That would have been cool.
Yeah, right. He might have won, but yeah, he was.
I actually think he's normal. I don't think anything is wrong with him, actually.
Are you talking about Phantom Lion?
Yes, I'm talking about
That dude
Phantom
is
Lion.
deep, man. He is deep.
I didn't think anything was wrong with him. I think it was just a guy who likes to dress up as a lion.
No. If you would have heard some of the conversations we've had with him,
Well, I did have a conversation with him. I didn't see anything that was wrong.
do you remember that day we were saying, I don't know, Brother John, I thought it was your hangout where if you had the chance to create a perfect world,
Yeah.
and do some things over again, what would you do? And he was just like, I would take us back to the days of.
Of like tribes and stuff. Yeah, that was a little. Yeah, that was one of the. Yeah.
He was so dark and so.
Yeah.
It was really hard.
Well, he wants to run in the woods.
Hmm.
You know, it's a sense of freedom.
Yeah. Born free.
Exactly.
Born free.
Sometimes we take on a archetype, you know, and that's what he has is like a certain archetype where when he dresses up, he feels a little bit more himself because he's so confined from his environment.
Yeah, maybe. I really worried about him.
You know, I'm worried about Prescott.
Yeah, what happened to
I
Prescott?
have
What's going on?
not seen him in like weeks.
Wait, he was in a chat the other day, and I was like, "Who's Prescott?"
I saw him in text track briefly, but he was like popping in and out, and that was it. I asked him how you doing, you know.
Hey, Ruben, have you spoken to him?
He must be in that other hangout
I
stuff.
guarantee you'll start saying penis again. Penis and.
Let me try another one. Vagina.
There you go. Vagina, penis.
No, Ruben's
It's
asexual,
so
remember?
hard for me because I haven't a clue what Reuven looks like.
I do. I
Um,
saw him in the dream.
oh, stop.
I
Yeah.
actually think
Like
Ruben
Carl
looks like
Sagan.
his icon. No, he looks exactly like Carl Sagan. I think that's a real picture of Ruben.
He's Carl Sagan reincarnated.
Yeah, he doesn't use any other icon than that one.
Yeah, it messes me up when you guys change your icons. I'm like, who is that?
Yeah, I had to. I don't know. I don't like having the same icon. I like to change it around.
I like this one you have. Light on light.
Yeah, light upon light. Yeah, I like this one too.
How does that spell light?
Oh no, that's in Arabic.
Arabic. Okay.
Stizer called it Klingon language.
Guys, there's a trip.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny that Shakespeare has even been translated into Klingon.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
it's been translated into so many different languages, but I was like, Klingon? I didn't even know that's a real language, but it is.
Frank, that your icon is not Arabic.
Yes, it is.
No, is it?
Yes, it is.
What do you think it was?
Well, because I remember you posted something about light on light,
Light
but then
upon light.
then you had the avatar come out, and I was like, okay, I see it because I see the letters light upside down and on, that's how the way I'm looking at it. I see light in English.
That's
I
because
see the L-I-G-H-T. I'm thinking light on light.
you're dyslexic. That's why.
What's that?
I said you're dyslexic. That's why.
Dyslexic. No, I'm gifted.
Right, right. Sorry. I need to get more. Although, yeah, it is the truth about a lot of kids I know that are dyslexic.
No, I assure you, I'm not dyslexic.
I thought it was funny. What hangout was I in where they said 4% of CEOs, which is 4 times higher than the general population, are clinically defined as sociopaths?
I don't doubt it.
I was like, 4 times. So it's almost like the same.
I think you'll find a greater percentage among politicians.
Yeah, right. No, that's very true. Probably. No, you're probably right. Anyone who's seeking out this big power, you know, headed positions, but like it's almost like it helps you be successful to have some of those tendencies in those types of jobs. I was like, wow.
Guess it all depends on how you define success.
Well, I'm not saying that CEOs are successful. I'm just saying that they're in those positions. Did I just kill the hangout?
No.
Okay.
Hey, Brother John, I put it in Arabic for you, and you'll see it why.
I'm laughing because every time now that I see squiggly signs, I'm like, oh gosh, I'm ready to hear show bulbs, show bulbs.
Let me try to blow this up.
This is Noor ala Noor.
One of the best troll moves I ever said anyone do was this guy named Matt Derpson. He's from the early days. But what he would do is he would circle a bunch of Mohammeds, because you know the name Mohammed is Michael in English. That's how it translates. And so there's just a ton of them. You can spell it slightly different. So he'd go into a hangout that was like private. Then he would invite his Mohammed circle, and then he would leave.
That's good.
Laugh my tail off, especially if you got stuck after he did that and you just learned to block him after that, so he could never do that to you again. And it took like 10 times before you could nail down who the person was that kept doing it. But you'd have these guys just one after another, and sometimes get bombarded coming in saying the most bizarre stuff and not being able to speak English, and they'd all come in. And at this time, we didn't have volume controls. We couldn't mute people. In the early days, you couldn't mute people, and these guys would just come in and just like have like these side conversations, because like they weren't like even grouped hangouts by your region. It was just all like worldwide free for all. It was the funniest prank.
Frank, what does these words say?
Noor ala Noor. Light
Noor.
upon light. Noor means light.
Noor, N-O-R?
N-U-R.
You are. Noor. What's the rest of it?
Allah Noor.
Allah Noor.
Noor ala Noor.
Oh, Allah.
Allah is not Allah, but
Okay.
Allah.
A-L-A?
Yeah, it's
Would you
something like that. Yeah, the Arabic lettering is a little different.
light on light?
Light upon light.
I'm sorry, light upon light. Go deeper.
Yes, it's very deep.
Yeah, when we're gonna have these deep conversations, we need to invite Michael Bathurst.
Haven't seen him around either lately.
Yes. No, but I know that he's going through some stuff with family that he's
Yeah, helping his daughter. I know.
exactly.
I like his daughter. She's really nice.
I actually never met his daughter.
Yeah, she's really pretty too.
Yeah.
Apparently, quite the actress.
Yeah, when I had some issues, I actually used to talk to him. He was like my therapist in a way. I kind of get it when he talks about energy. I do understand it. So, like, because I used to be really into stuff like that. So it's very familiar when he starts talking about it, and I actually know what he's talking about.
Mm.
That's the thing. Like when people talk to me like a really intense spiritual thing, regardless of what type of faith, I get really into it,
Mm.
and I could definitely relate. And you know, it's almost like I'm there with them. And you know, you may a lot of people may call it woo woo, but I actually get a great insight out of it, and I don't mind talking about things like that. I just don't like it when people try to persuade me on something or trying to sell me something because I don't think that's what spirituality is.
Yeah, no, that's fair. It's funny because I think I've been talking to people a little bit more now about like going back to college or going to school, and it's funny because I guess I didn't realize sometimes I can sound pretty preachy with that, and people are like, "Oh, Ermine's getting on her kick about people going back to school now or starting their own businesses or whatever." So I've had to now just like shut up. Like I went through my kick where I was redecorating the house. So it's like, let me show you what I'm putting together now. And, people got annoyed. But I try not to push it on people, but I do see some of the advantages, like for instance, for getting an education, that it's hard for me to like kind of accept sometimes that that's just not the path that people want to go down.
I think more people are more into experiences of, like, let's say, of colleges and classes. Like, I will talk about a class that I had, for example, the Psych of Consciousness. I actually had a class called the Psych of Consciousness.
Mm,
And, this is the thing. They didn't really talk about consciousness, but what they did was, what the professor did, just like show a whole bunch of movies and had a hypnotherapist come in. We never really had a test or anything, but I gotta say I enjoy the class.
mm. I can't say similarly, but we had a class on music theory in college. And I wish I would have learned music theory before I tried to play an instrument because I think I would have loved it.
Oh, okay.
It was so fascinating.
Frank, when were you going to do some of those online classes?
Yes, I did. I'm actually doing a data analysis class. However, the class that me and Cerberus did, I still have to talk to him because I think it's going to start in December.
Mm.
It's a class of writing a proposal. These classes are free, by the way.
Mm.
But there's all types of there's like classes, you know, philosophy of the mind, like really, like some of them are like business classes, sociology classes, teaching classes, mathematics, and it's all free.
Yeah, I was skimming through them that night when you guys were going through them and you deciding on classes to go to.
Hmm. Yeah, the one I'm doing is data analysis, which I do need in a way, but
They do offer a certificate, but I think you have to pay like $50 or something for a certified class.
yeah, for the certificate you have to pay,
Uh,
but the class is free. Um, have you ever been to the Bible Geek Hangout?
yeah, well, a couple times.
Yeah, I had nothing to contribute to that class. I mean, that hangout. I never
Yeah.
do.
I feel a little lost a lot of times.
I'm like, okay, I don't know what to say.
What
Good
is the
time.
Bible? What is it about?
They talk about the Bible.
Then why don't you have anything to contribute?
I don't know. It's funny because like in the Noahide Nexus, I have more to contribute, and that's basically like Torah based, and I. But when it comes to the Bible Hangout, I'm just like, I don't know. I think it has more historical context, which I don't know anything about.
Mm.
Yeah, when they start getting to the Old Testament and all the scholarly work, yeah, I get lost. I enjoy when Price is in there a couple of times, and
I actually want to learn about the like Buddhist or Hindu scriptures.
Oh, you should read. Oh, or Hindu. You should read the Upanishads.
I did.
Oh, okay.
I read the whole thing actually. I read the Gita.
Oh, the buck. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I did. I was really fascinated by it. It was hardcore. Like that was some warlike violence in that book, but it was just different. That's why I really enjoyed it.
Those are started of Arjuna. What I can't even say.
Yes, the God man.
A warrior then turned god, but yeah, the losing warrior turned god. Um, yeah, it was. Those were fascinating. I really enjoyed the Upanishads um, and it's funny because I can look at their religion and be like, oh, what great stories, but I can't look at my religion and be like, oh, what great stories.
Yeah, that's true. It's almost more legalistic, and sometimes it gets a little dry. The one that I enjoyed, the only part of the Bible that I enjoyed it was the Psalms of David. Um, I guess it had a nice flow.
Hmm.
But other than that, I couldn't get into it.
The Psalms of David?
Psalms,
the
yes.
Psalms. Yeah,
Psalms.
okay, yeah, that's why I was like, wow, I've never heard them called that. I'm sure they are, but okay, that's
I
interesting.
like some of the Psalms. You never like the Proverbs or Ecclesiastes? Some good stuff in there for you.
Yes, I know there is, but like to read it in its entirely, no. The
Mm.
one that I read entirely was the Psalms.
I've read the whole thing entirely, and I think a few times you learn something like tons more new every single time. The only part of the Bible that made me sick was when she begat this, begat that, or he rather begat. I was like, shoot me now.
Yes, exactly. I felt like being shot. Somebody shoot me. Yes. Um, yeah, that's one of the problems I couldn't get into. I couldn't get into that. And trust me, like I try to learn from time to time, but you got to find some type of motivation.
The only thing I find funniest now is my daughter has to read so many books for school that I used to enjoy it around some age. I don't do it anymore. Where I used to make sure she read the book by reading the book and then asking her questions and having conversations about it. But there's so many books that I missed as a kid that I'm so glad this time around I'm getting to read. It's silly.
Well, after high school, that's when I started reading intensely. Like in high school, I, I don't know what happened, but I hated everything about education.
Hmm.
But when I left, when I graduated high school, I started reading more books on philosophy and politics, psychology. I never really read like novels or anything like that. But I remember when I used to smoke a lot of pot, I used to read a whole bunch of Nietzsche, like Friedrich Nietzsche.
Oh, wow.
That was like my guy. He actually helped me throughout my life.
Wow. I've never read a shred of Nietzsche.
I just love it, especially when you're high. I just love his stuff.
How about Ludwig Wittgenstein?
Yes, I read him recently.
Oh, really? Yeah, they had this Tractatus Philosoph, whatever,
I have that book, yes.
Just Monica or whatever it's called. Yeah, I got it a little bit more into Wittgenstein, but there's just certain people who were. My brother was a philosophy major. Yeah.
Yeah, recently I got into Sartre,
Mm.
Jean-Pierre Sartre.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I really liked him, uh, and I just love the way he thinks. But Nietzsche was my guy in the beginning.
I think it's Sartre, but that's another story. Um,
Yeah, it could be that. His name is a little
yeah, well, it's
confusing.
French, but yeah, those are all interesting. I got into it a lot, but then I was like, is this going to pay the bills? Nope. Next.
I think it does pay the bills.
Mm,
You know, I think reading existential philosophy does pay the bills because it helps to take responsibility of your own life.
right, but I meant more as like a career.
Even that, a lot of the principles of existentialism, I use it for my clinical practice.
Well, I agree in your career field, right?
Correct.
Right. Well, for me, I was trying to find a career field that was just going to make money and, for my family,
It
right?
can. The way you think actually think about it. You know, your mindset and the way you think about your environment does something for your financial.
Oh, I don't doubt that the skill sets are invaluable, and I don't doubt that you could get a job in it. I think what I looked at was something more like this is the major, this how much is paying upon graduation on average, right? I ruled some things out and other things just, I'm sorry, I ruled some things in and other things just got left to the wayside, right? Because I wasn't interested in getting a master's or a PhD or any of that stuff.
Yeah,
And I do like what I do. I do like marketing and communications.
which I think is an important field.
To a
You
degree.
know, they actually say that people who are into marketing are straight up from hell. Because everything is a marketing tool.
Mm.
Yeah,
You
well,
know?
we're right below lawyers.
Yeah.
That's
So,
cool. Mhm.
those like marketers will turn anything to like a profit. Those like if you're angry at somebody, it's the angry thing is good right now, so let's go with that.
Right, right.
Oh, you're from Satan. All right, the Satan is popular at these times. Nothing is sacred to a marketer.
Yeah, no, pretty much now. I think there is a market, we will find it.
I actually took a marketing class in high school and I actually loved it.
Well, it's because you're into philosophy, psychology, all those different things of people. So that's
Yeah.
why I couldn't be into the general philosophy, but if it's motivating them to take a certain course of action, I think politics and marketing sounded awesome.
Yeah, I think there was a psychologist called his last name was Bernays. He was actually a relative of Sigmund Freud. There was a documentary on American capitalism where Bernays actually helped a lot of the marketing campaigns in the United States. Like he actually got women to smoke more.
Mm.
because back then, it was just something that men did.
Oh,
But he actually devised a marketing campaign that during the feminist movement, he called the cigarettes freedom sticks. So he had a lot of campaigns where they show like women smoking and it was liberating and things like that.
Oh, I remember Virginia Slims. You've come a long way, baby.
I know. Nobody can tell you what to do now. You can put the cigarette in your mouth.
oh my gosh. Like that's I'd like to say that's the difference between what I do and what's out there. So I really only work for companies that create products that are good for people, that have strong social responsibility, corporate social responsibility, sustainability, good for the planet, green, all those different aspects. Because if they're selling us stuff that's cancerous or you name it, I don't want anything to do with it.
Well, this is back in the 40s and
Yeah.
50s.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, even today, there's still stuff that's out there that you're like, wow. Like, I don't mean to be rude to like Tony the Tiger or, just some of this food that I'm like blown out of the water that you can even call it food. I think whatever, I won't get on my soapbox, but the fact that we can market those to, you know, a generation of kids and then wonder what's happening to our youth is just baffles me.
Yeah, definitely. And I think companies who think in long term, that doesn't automatically think of just immediate profits.
Mhm.
I think companies like that will last long. Like there's the oldest companies like in the world are usually from Japan.
No, GE is the oldest company. It was the first. It was the first company. It was a company that was originally on the New York Stock Exchange, and it's still around today. IBM is an old company. There's a lot of old companies, and then the other thing that's happened, there's a lot of old companies that were like bought out by other companies. You know what I mean? But at the core, they are those old companies. So I guess maybe that's not fair because they're bought out. But I, when I think of Japan, I definitely think of great things post World War II. What?
Okay,
Ruben
let
says
me.
Nintendo was 3 years older than GE.
What's 3 years older?
No, the oldest companies are from Japan.
No, no, they're not. GE. Um,
Ruben says Nintendo is 3 years older than GE. Nintendo, September
okay.
23rd, 1889. Really? Wow. Didn't even know. I only know Nintendo from the video games.
Right, me too.
I thought
Okay.
they may be 30 years old.
The oldest company, right? It's the name is Gongo Gumi. It's a construction company. It was created in the year 578. And then the next company that is Nishiyama Onsen. I can't even pronounce it. It's created in the year 705. It's a hotel, and it keeps going less. And then the next Europe,
Give us the link.
I will give you the link.
What? I did not know that Nintendo is 3 years older than GE.
I'm telling you, man, don't sleep on the Japanese, man. These guys been around.
Before 1300s. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you're 578 Japan? Oh my gosh, these are all like, oh, here's one from Austria. Okay. Hotels.
Wow.
Construction. Can you imagine? I totally stand corrected. Oh my gosh, look at the Sean's Bar, for a pub in Ireland since 900.
I'm scrolling down from waiting to. Uh, I guess we have to go. Yeah, for America, you got 1700s. You got to
I know,
scroll
right?
No, you're right. I
Here it
mean,
is, Japan, Japan,
yeah,
fucking.
exactly. I mean, I was going back in the modern era, so I thought, but I stand even corrected with Nintendo. My gosh.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I didn't even know that
And
actually.
some of these things are so old that I'm not at the right level wait,
I
economic.
should ask these companies, well, how do you keep? What's the secret? Like, we're not greedy.
No, it might be, it's just like family. They just keep passing it down. Who knows?
Freaking pharmaceutical company in China from 1600. Guangzhou
I
Shenji.
honestly wonder how Japan has done this.
And now they're going like, aren't they going like through? They're going through a major recession now, right? They've been like
Yeah.
Yeah, but their recession compared to our economy might
Yeah.
be a little different.
No, no, but the whole thing is, I'm just worried about the implications for our economy that they're having a recession.
Like the best cars I had were Toyotas. Like I still have this Toyota that's freaking awesome. Like I have
Oh
no
yeah,
issues.
Grant swears by his Toyota also.
Oh, my Toyota has 222,000 miles on it.
I
Yeah.
just got rid of a Dodge, had 245,000 miles on it.
Mine's never broken down on me.
That I couldn't say about the Dodge.
I knew there was something I had to do to look at Germany bringing it up, though.
Yeah.
Wow,
Hotels and breweries.
fucking beer.
There's big business.
Yeah.
Pharmacies. Confectionery. Religious goods I thought was kind of funny.
Religious goods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, candles? What?
Wow.
I don't know what they could possibly sell there. A lot of them have links, so you can, this is a great article. Chemicals. I wonder what's the first place I'm going to recognize. Wow, here's something from Estonia.
But now, are they trying to? Now, are you gonna? All these companies are still in existence.
Yes, that's what they're saying.
The oldest company in the United States it was in 1613 is the Shirley Plantation.
Great.
It's in Virginia.
Yeah, I knew that. I actually visited the oldest plantation in Virginia, but I don't remember it being the Shirley Camp Plantation.
Yeah, this is the oldest active plantation. It's active
Oh, yeah, that's
actually.
the key. That's not the one I visited wasn't active.
Yeah, it's the oldest family-owned business in North America, dating back to 1614.
Wow.
In Switzerland, they had a hotel called Kindle, Kindl.
Land was cultivated for growing tobacco. Mm.
Yeah, tobacco was, I think started the United States in a way. It's a big crop. I know back in the days, like kids used to smoke, and if you didn't smoke, you actually be punished because it was considered healthy.
I wonder what we're doing now that's considered healthy.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Going to McDonald's, but even that started to die out.
Ruben, I still see three of you on my screen.
It's absolutely shocking to me. You can even sell technology in these. So yeah, I see the same thing, Ruben. Like you can just see sauce and bank and property and hotels. Like you can almost tell the history of society through the companies that are still around. Like you never saw a bank before the 1500s. Um, Metalwork. It's fascinating. Gunpowder, firearms. Maybe part of it through all of this was staying small. Maybe these places are a lot smaller. These companies that have been around for hundreds, if not thousands of years, or thousand. Am I still there?
You're still here.
Yeah, he's still here. It's like it looks like we're the troopers here.
Yes, we are.
Everybody wants to talk about God.
Really?
Even the one that don't even believe he exists.
I have a rule against that.
Say that again?
I have a rule against talking about God too much.
Ruben's talking about God too much?
Against, yeah.
His rules.
Against, yeah. Rules against.
Rules against talking about God.
You know, speaking of, I wanted to
I
get.
actually got into a. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I just want to mention this really quick. I actually got into a God debate as the most unlikely people. John May.
John,
Okay.
how
Well,
do
you had like a one-on-one with him, right?
Yeah, well,
Yes, yes.
and I believe I won that debate fairly easily.
John May, if you're listening.
Yeah, John May, I freaking beat you at a freaking theist debate. Go ahead, Brother John.
Yeah, I was looking at the definition of agnosticism, because Reuben, says he's an agnostic, right? That's how you pronounce it. And they have really nothing to do. They say to even have the discussion of God is kind of fruitless. I'm saying in a nutshell. So I'm just wondering, but why, Reuben, you have these Bible geek and interfaith chats if you're agnostic? Agnostic,
Yes.
Ooh. Are there people watching this? Is that where you guys are getting the questions from?
No. It's coming through our heads.
Coming to my head. We do have one viewer right now. We had, I think, up to 3 or 4 before.
Yeah, and it's John May. I'm actually a monoist.
What does that mean?
That means everything is made from one substance. There's only one thing.
And it is?
God, that's it. It's almost like a pantheist, but not quite.
Yeah, I was to say that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, it sounds like pantheism, but no, it's.
'Cause I would be along that kind. If I feel everything is from one source, then that source is.
No, it's not the one source. It's just one thing. Everything that we see here is illusionary. It's just a reflection of that one thing.
Like, what if we were all just part of his, like, that one thing's, like, what if we, like, the Earth was just, like, his spleen? And Mars was, like, his gallbladder. Like, we're just part of this working organism, and we don't even know. And we're, like, as little people in it.
It's fucking bacteria.
Yes! That's exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly where I was
The
going.
fucking Earth is in an intestine.
Actually, there was a very funny meme about. There was a meme that I seen that was actually really hilarious, where a bunch of fleas were inside this dog, like these fleas, and they got together, and it was an anti-dog, anti-dog group. It says there's no such thing as dog. There's no dog.
That's hilarious. I'm saying right now, us human beings, we'd be the cancerous bacteria. But that, no such thing as dog. That's funny. As they're on the dog and squeeze. Yeah, right. Oh.
That's why I gotta laugh sometimes. It's just this. I don't know. The I don't know. The inflated egos sometimes that we could get into, and it's like you put things in a matter of perspective. It's like, yeah, we're just like fucking bacteria of the universe, and here we are thinking sometimes we're so important.
I think the one that actually makes me laugh, the atheist that makes me laugh, and I know we're live. I don't give a shit.
Because you've been drinking.
What's his name? The anarcho-capitalist, Jeff.
Oh, Jeff Keller.
Jeff Keller. He actually bugs me out because it's like he wants tangible proof of God. Where's your proof? It's he's not yeah. He just wants like physical freaking proof, and I'm like, okay. But I just find it hilarious. His atheism is a religion.
I wrote a post.
I thought what's his name? Carl Cameron's the same, isn't he? He wants tangible proof.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know who he is.
Oh.
I wrote in a post recently, God exists. Just look in the mirror.
He wants God to actually come down and show himself, I'm God. It's just like, okay. That's not the point. I don't know. I find it funny.
The thing is, they're looking for the biblical God. If
Yes.
you can't even, how would any of us know God if it hit us in the face? Because we already have some kind of preconception of what God is.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I'm actually a monoist. Well, even that is limited, because this is just my interpretation or my belief.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that this is proof of anything.
Right.
Because my mind is very limited of even my perception and even the way I see things. Because if I look in the mirror, for example, you're looking into the past because the light is actually reflecting from the eyelids, it's going in back of the occipital lobe, and then from the occipital lobe is interpreting what is being seen. So I'm looking actually to the past. So even my perception and the way I see things are very limited. So how could I know like an all supreme creator? Any type of interpretation that I put is very limited.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Listen to Reuben. Carlton wouldn't believe even if that happened. Sorry, that is so true.
Yeah, he starts arguing with the God himself. Well, I don't think it really exists because this is what I think.
Well, show me that you're a real God. Now that you're in front of me, show me a miracle, and another miracle, and another miracle.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I'll make some more hot chocolate. I'm a hot chocolate addict when the weather gets like this.
I didn't know you was making hot chocolate.
I'm going to make some right now. I'll be back in a few minutes.
All right.
Cool.
Keep it going. Invite a couple people if you like.
Frank, I met you through Andrew Smith. And now Andrew has taken a bit of a break from Google+.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
He's such a delight. He's just one of my favorite people on here. Such a good person.
Yeah, he lives in Tasmania.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really cool. Why is he taking a break?
Um, I think it's just sometimes it reaches capacity where just the shenanigans. Maybe you're going through a good time or a hard time. You express it to someone, they just troll you. You know, they make light out of. Well, you know how we are. We're sometimes we just make light out of things that should be sacred.
Yeah, a lot of things that I consider sacred, I don't even talk about.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, some people I do, but
There's some rules on here. Like anybody posts a picture about their kids, since it's so infrequent, you're never allowed to say anything bad about people's kids. That's like one of the things of the internet. You can say something bad about their parents sometimes and get away with it, yeah, all the time, but not their kids. Anybody who does that is just banned, next. Um,
no, I don't post pictures of my kids anywhere. I don't even have pictures of my kids in my wallet or even in my office or anybody.
mm,
Rare, like there's some times where, yeah, I'm the same way, not even pictures of myself. Um, but I go full Amish.
I I wouldn't have any pictures of my daughter on my phone, except I only have them when she doesn't block me from her Facebook. So anyone's like, what does your kid look like? I'm like, oh, let me check out my Facebook app. You know, that's pretty much the reason I have it. Because if I go to Facebook, I'm invariably seeing the 10 people I know who just had a kid and every moment of those kids' lives. I can't deal anymore. I'm like, why did Facebook tell me that this type of crap is important to me? I wouldn't mind seeing it if they could mark the kid's first birthday or first step, but they like their kid smiled. Oh wait, they winked. Oh wait, they waved. Oh wait, they, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh my gosh, shoot me now. Do you really put your kid's first bath on the internet?
No, my mom was a big proponent of taking pictures and I hated it. I have to sit there like, and then she's taking a picture. All right, let's put a nice suit on. I couldn't stand it, and I couldn't do that to my kids.
I think there's like occasions for it, you know. Um,
I like to take well, I would rather have people take pictures of me while I'm doing something with my kid.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, something like an action thing or even an abstract picture. Something very abstract.
Hmm.
But posing for the cameras, no, can't do it.
Yeah, my daughter's loved posing for the camera ever since she was 3.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
I
Anybody that tells me to say, and my mom actually gets mad at me to this day, like, oh, could you take a picture here? I'm like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to. Don't do that. I don't like being photographed.
Now, what's your ethnic background again?
I'm Spanish.
Is she like the atypical Spanish mom that's like nudging you, like, just
Yeah,
no?
yeah, it becomes overbearing,
Yeah,
and
that's
she
fine.
thinks something's wrong with me. Oh, you're so this, you're so beautiful. Why are you so? It's like, no, it has nothing to do with that. I just don't feel comfortable. Um, I think it's very vain, actually.
Hmm. Well, yeah, in the light culture that we have today, but it used to be more of a rare occurrence. But yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, could be vain, could be confident.
I like to remember things. I don't know.
I've always found it hard to be the photographer because you spend so many times capturing what's going on that you are outside of what's going on. So I don't mind someone taking pictures. I just don't like having to take all the pictures. And I noticed that when I was filming my daughter's plays or doing this, that, and the other, you spend so much time worrying about getting the right shot that you miss the whole play.
If I was going to take a picture, I would like to take pictures of very, like, This is the thing about pictures. If you're gonna take a picture,
Mhm.
you have to take picture. You have to have a picture where it's not just focused on the individual, but everything around that picture, not just people. Like they shouldn't be like the person should be the center of the whole photography.
But that's what art has been for so long. There's art that's based on like picturesque settings and the surroundings, and there's stuff that just marvels and showcases the human body.
Hmm. I'm sorry, Ruben. I couldn't ignore what you just wrote here. Is violence more common in same-sex relationships? I have no clue.
I'll be back.
Yeah, Ruben, we know you never like pictures of yourself.
No, I think that's a real picture of Ruben.
It is not.
Yes, it is.
It
That's
is.
Ruben. He looks exactly like that icon. I'm not even joking. I really feel that he looks that way. In 30 years, probably. Exactly. So you basically just take a couple wrinkles out of there. That's you. There you go. You just gave yourself away. I'm telling you, I have a dream about Ruben. I had a dream about him, man.
Did
Ruben
he have
has
blue?
blue
Did he have
eyes.
blue? Did he have blue eyes in your dream?
I'm sure he did.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Let's show his profile.
Yeah, once in a while, I have my hot chocolate. Once in a while, I like to have a little sambuca with it. I am down. I, you guys have the honor. This is the last of the bottle. I gotta get more.
Of hot chocolate?
No, sambuca.
Oh.
I like to. I don't
I like,
know.
I like to.
Oh, we have a little
Oh, we have
delay.
a little delay.
Oh, echo,
Oh, echo,
echo.
echo.
Oh, it's me.
Fuck.
It's
Or me
me.
Or me
doing
doing
that.
that. And
We still have it? No.
Oh,
Hmm.
she left?
Maybe she's reloading. The echo because of her?
Yes. There you go. She's back.
There she is.
It's always when I multitask. This thing drives me crazy. Now I missed the whole chat.
Is Xbox Fiend still on?
I wouldn't doubt it. Seems like he's always having a hangout.
Yeah, he's been. And guess who's always in the hangout? Who is always there consistently?
Who?
Nadia.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
does she like him?
No, she's just there. I don't know if she likes him or not.
No, they have a lot of hangouts between the two of them. Starting hangouts, it's like 24/7. Maybe they
Oh.
take shifts. They're overlapping.
But they gave me the controls of the room, and I was very honored, and I left like 5 seconds later. I said, "Thank you for giving me the controls," and I left.
I think Jeff's a riot. Jeff Keller, is that his name?
I like
He
Jeff.
is funny. He is funny.
I like Jeff.
I was laughing because somebody had.
I just can't stand this Ayn Rand poster in the back.
Oh, I'd never seen that.
I always see it. I know who Ayn Rand is.
I do.
That's what I consistently see is freaking like, all right, I
I
got
think
it.
she was a little too crazy for me. So,
Yeah.
well, so was
Why?
go ahead.
Why?
Anybody who's associated with that whole movement of like eugenics and stuff, that just creeps me out. Like, what planet are you from?
I
Um,
Iran was involved with eugenics?
yeah,
Was she really?
all
How
those.
so?
Um, let's see here. At least this is what I heard. Eugenics. A
It
one.
says you're confusing Ayn Rand with Margaret Sanger.
No, no, no. I know Margaret Sanger.
I thought the same thing. I thought Ayn Rand was anti-eugenics.
Um, and
Yeah, that's.
eugenics and lesser breeds.
Mm, I don't get that from Iran. I mean, the little I know of her philosophy, I don't get that from her at all. If anything, it'd be totally opposite. I actually enjoy. I watched her interviews with oh God, who was it? Was it from the 50s? Who was it? Mike? Was it Mike Wallace?
Yeah, was it Wallace? I think
No.
it was.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, it was Wallace.
Yeah. I watched a few of her interviews. I can't say I disagree with her too much, to tell you the truth.
No, I don't disagree with her, but she takes a militant stance against other countries that doesn't have that type of system. And that's the thing is she becomes a little bit too militant.
Yes, I saw the Daniel ones too. Yeah.
And sometimes, she kind of downgrades other cultures that are not, within that thing. Like she's against. I'm not against altruism at all. I think there's a value in altruism.
Who
And
you or you're saying you're speaking for her?
no, I was speaking the case, some of the cases against her, as far as my disagreements with that. There's things I do agree with her on, but there's things I disagree with her on, and she was, of course, an anti-theist, and sometimes I think, and with Nietzsche too, like I think they was a little bit too harsh on certain aspects of theism. They didn't see some of the value that could, there could be some harm, but there could also be some value. I just don't like it when certain philosophers would just be too against the other side, I guess. Yeah.
Mm.
Sometimes when they take a strong approach on certain things, I tend to back off. Yeah, her foreign policy was odd, and that's what kind of threw
Yeah,
me off.
I don't know anything about her foreign policy.
Yeah, she's too much of an interventionist.
I have a bad problem of starting books and not finishing them, and one of the books I was starting was the Virtue of Selfishness by her.
Which I think is a good book. I think if anybody wants to start up in philosophy, I think Ayn Rand sometimes could be a good starting point. It could be it's very simplistic and you know.
it's a liberating message for someone who's coming out of a religious background, So that's why I think I kind of
No,
connect
definitely.
with her.
Yeah, it is. It's that type of, very limited, very motivating. Like it's a very motivating type of, philosophy. Um, but I think if you get too much into it, I think it becomes counterproductive.
Could say that for almost about anything, no?
It could be, yeah, more with her because no man is an island. It's has this.
I, I don't think
It's
you would
not.
deny that either.
It's not multidimensional. I think it's just too one-sided to one side that it becomes to a point of ridiculousness. Like it doesn't look at other aspects of counter arguments within its philosophy. And that's with a lot of philosophers, but I think more with her.
Okay, so this is what she contributed to the eugenics movement, was the notion that kind of for the good of society, the lesser breeds should be kind of encouraged to wither and die without any support from our society. And also that the superior nature of like the producer um, is kind of demonstrated not by his compassion or something like that for the less well off, but by actually denying those less well off or parasites any of that compassion. So it was almost like giving an excuse or giving support to this idea that there are just people who are less than and people who are more than.
Yeah, but with that wither and die, she didn't mean that sterilization or producing. It's a more of an economic standpoint, which
No,
I do disagree with, but I didn't.
but it just gave, because she had so much, like, such a well position and stance, it just gave fuel and added to the eugenics. Like, maybe they shouldn't be sterilized, but her take was more like they should just live in abject poverty.
I think what she's saying, if you have this that altruism um, enables a very dependent, you know, part of society that will inevitably drain the rest of the producers. So I think she's seeing it from that point as let evolution kind of, in an evolution way, kind of let it take its place and let you know.
But that's kind of misrepresenting evolution itself because
Okay,
that's
forget the
more
word evolution. My bad there.
uh, Darwinian. Darwin,
Well,
yeah, it's not Darwinian. Robert Spencer's type of evolution, um, like the survival of the fittest type of
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I was thinking, survival of the fittest. But
Yeah,
she wasn't against someone somebody helping somebody if somebody truly wanted to help somebody voluntarily. Not
right,
by any.
her thing was the state shouldn't be allowed to do that. Shouldn't have,
Yeah,
or
right,
using tax dollars and things like that. Maybe it's for
right.
charities or other organizations.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That will inevitably drain. I mean, we see that happening now, and
But
it's
so
some of
much of
her.
her writing and so much of her thoughts were used to support the some of the atrocities that were going on at the time, because it was like just basically gave confirmation that there are superior people, and by helping out these less superior ones, like you should just let them go and just live their miserable lives.
Okay, let's go with the scum of the earth here. I mean, about a pedophile. How far do you help a pedophile before he becomes just a drain on society and endangerment?
I know there's a certain type of temperament that I definitely understand, but I think you're going into extremes here. You
Okay,
know,
so this is what's really interesting. I read this interesting article on Medium probably about 2 months ago, and prior to reading this article, I would have thought completely different than what I'm about to say. But I think the focus on pedophiles is actually to identify them sooner and sooner, and identify them before they even take action. Um, in such a way that they can be reformed, because what I'm understanding more and more about pedophilia is something is just completely off in the brain, something at the level of a mass murder, or like people just fixate, and something happened to them, something like, and it doesn't have to be that somebody else did it to them, it's just something happened where their brain like shuts off, and that they stay in love with people that they were in love with at 5 years old, and you know what I mean, and can't get past that turn on that they had at five, or whatever age group, with this particular age group, with this particular sex, right? And it could just be the age group, independent of sex, sometimes whatever. But that something, part of it is it's got to be fixed, because it unfortunately keeps growing, and how we've been treating it so far is not helping the situation. So when you ask, how far do you go? How far do you go to help pedophiles? How far do you? I actually am wondering if we're not going far enough in terms of going earlier on in these kids' childhood. Um, if
well,
we're
this is the thing about people who are sick or people who have some type of cognitive or developmental disability. You have those type of people, in this world, but yet you have people who are in it to really understand and to help, and that's where you get a lot of the brilliance from. So in a way, we kind of need diseases and things that are maladaptive, because we also need people who could actually solve these type of problems, which is the genius of people. So it's almost like you can't have one without the other. Because imagine if everything was just perfect, then what is it more to strive for, to really look at that, right?
But couldn't that balance go out of whack?
It could go out of whack, yes, it can, but you do need that type of. This is the thing with Iran; it just goes into these type of extremes that I felt it was just. I don't know. I think she had the inability to look at the whole picture of things. Like, I understand, like, yes, she was advocating to really promote, people who were intelligent, who were entrepreneurs, and that's fine. But to saying that we just focus on people who have these deficiencies was kind of unfair and being drained in society. You know, I could just imagine the type of society Ayn Rand wants is some type of toll booth state that everything is monetary cash, like everything is privatized, parks and things like that. So it becomes almost like an isolated, society where everybody has their own little section here and there. Where I'm glad that I could actually go to a road and not worry so much about 25 yards away that I'm not going to be asked for a monetary fee. It's like, so I really believe in the public good, like monetary, not just monetary, but just having the sense that I could walk into a sidewalk and not worry about somebody wanting some type of a fee for something.
I'll give an example on why I think it's so challenging. I spent part of my corporate career in an environment that was so Ayn Rand, it was unbelievable. And that all you cared about was being in the top 10%. Because the top 10% got promotions, we got bonuses, and we got increases to pay. The middle 80% kept their job, and the lowest 10% were nixed. It was that simple because they were a drain. So what started to happen, and it's actually my biggest fear, and you don't see it, but in being the top 10%, the top 10% to be there, you are myopic. The decisions you make are based on what can churn results in the next quarter, in the next month, in the next day. You lose sight of and your ability to see the long term because you're constantly in this competitive mode of winning today's game without the foresight to see the overarching battle. So with like the world that she wants to live in, you can look at people who are producers today, and the challenge is people who are producers today and continue to produce are not going to innovate the things that we need to produce and be productive in the future.
I agree. I think a lot of her stuff is very short-sighted. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, and so it's just it's very interesting to me to see a lot of those kind of arguments, and I even kind of align them sometimes with particular political parties or just ideologies anyway, because I don't want to get into the politics debate. Um, and they're really worrisome when it really is focusing on one class over a majority of people and not understanding the implications when you do so. Because what I've seen right now with wealth disparity in this entire world that we live in, but certainly within our society here in the States, I cannot believe we haven't had a revolution yet. Because every other time in history when it gets this bad, something flips and people go bonkers. And so it's fascinating to me. Maybe we keep people focused on Kim Kardashian's butt and not what's really going on, and so everybody thinks that everything's okay. And maybe it's because the reason we haven't done this in the United States, I was looking at wealth disparity, but if you make, if, as a household, $45,000 or more, you are in the top 1% of all people in the world, of all households. And in the United States, that might actually put you in the bottom 20%. I don't know. I didn't look and see how that laid out. But I just thought that was profound because at the end of the day, I mean, we're still doing better than a lot of people in the world, but that's so much wealth that's concentrated in the United States versus spread out, and that there's so much wealth concentrated in a few families, you know, the top 0.1%. It's mind-boggling. So I'm off my step, but
Amen, sister.
I'm off my box. I got off of it. It's just they're funny.
You know what they say, there there's some people who are so poor, all they have is money.
Yeah, that's true. No, it's true. It's very. I think Mother Teresa talked about some of that type of poverty. It's the worst kind. It's like, what does she call poverty of the soul?
Hmm.
But there was something else I was going to bring up in terms of some of the wealthy. Yeah.
Why are you worrying about money?
What?
I sure don't. I don't give a shit anymore. Like, this rat race. It's people around me that's demanding money from
Well,
me.
give me. I want you and I to have this conversation in a decade when it's time to send kids to college.
I know. That's what I look forward to. That's what I kind of wish that my parents did that, but they had no. They they're not. They didn't even graduate high school. So for me to go to college, that was just like I was surprised. They were really surprised. And my
Congrats.
guidance counselor told me like I wanted to go to college. He's like, no, 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 that's not happening, buddy. You should not do that. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm telling you, it was like crazy. And it's funny because now I have my master's. So
I can't believe a guidance counselor, quote unquote, told you that.
yeah, and I had a GPA of a 1.3 in high school.
Oh, you gave a, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't give a shit. Like I wasn't showing up to school. I was. He was like, no. What? But that's the thing. I was bright. It's just that I hated school.
And the DMT changed your mind,
Well, I did all, I think drugs really helped me.
Oh, that's right.
Just smoking weed and doing a lot of hallucinogens. It
I
really
was,
woke me up.
it's really similar. I would say like my junior year on in high school, I didn't care anymore. I would just ditch class and go to the library and read whatever I wanted to read. I just,
Yeah.
it was the strangest thing. People were like, "You're ditching school to go to Barnes and Noble." Yep, see you later, bitches. And I didn't care. I'd go on a hike. I'd do whatever kind of like during like sports seasons. I kind of chilled out a little bit and went to class and did like the basics to push something through. But they'd like give me a book to read, like Invisible Man. I'd be like, I don't want to read that one. Where
You
are the
know,
book at?
I was never read to as a child.
Really?
Never.
Why? I think the two things I did for my
I had no books in my house. None. To have a book, we had a Bible. we had a Bible. That was the only book in our house.
Psalms of David. Well, if you're going to choose a book to have in your house, I recommend that one. Um,
Reuven says, if I have gotten a B, my mother would have gone suicidal.
I wish that
And he
happened to
also
me.
says, Green, that's a sin. A sin that you didn't have no books in your
I
house.
had no books, but you look at my house now, I have nothing but books. I read to my kids every single night.
that's fair.
Every night. I
I mean,
enjoy it.
I used to always read to my kid, and the other thing I used to do is give her little kid massages.
While you're reading?
No, just, we just chat and we talk, and I'd give her like a foot massage, a leg massage, an arm massage, a back massage. Um, yeah, she just loved them. It was just like the mom's touch, and
Now I have my kids doing my massages.
you got it the right way.
My kids give me massages. It's the other way around.
It's supposed to be good for the circulation. You do that, at a young age.
Yeah, it's good for a lot of things.
Yeah. Well,
Mainly it's just another way that they know that.
Hey, you know who's talking to me right now? Freaking Ryan. He wants to come in. Should I let him in?
not if he's
Let him
drunk.
in, and I'm gonna roll.
Not if he's
Uh,
drunk. I'm not in the mood if he's drunk. I'm not in the mood for.
He's
no,
drunk.
of course he's drunk. What do
I'm
you
not.
think?
Nah. We're having a good conversation here.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing, Phosphorus?
He can see this right now. He's probably listening to us. Like, oh,
Yeah, you're Ryan. You're drunk. I don't know what you. I'm sorry. I love you, man, but
Yeah, if
I
you're
know.
drunk, man.
this is why I started my own hangout. This way I can have a little control. I'm tired of the
He's like, give me
craziness.
the link, bro. Give me the link. I was like, I'm not gonna answer.
I haven't even looked if I had gotten any messages.
Yeah, at first it was John May that was private messaging me. He was freaking messaging me in Arabic lettering for whatever reason. I was like, okay. And now it's Ryan. I used to be Brandon all the time. Every single time I freaking open my Gmail, Brandon freaking messaging me.
I haven't even checked the question and answer thing. 'Cause it's a,
Yeah, you should check.
no questions.
No,
Yeah.
Who just joined?
Phosphorus. What's
Yeah,
up, man? How you doing?
doing all right. I'm just eating. Right
Cool.
At what time is it where you're at, Phosphorus?
now. Oh, it's 2:30 in the morning.
Hey,
Wow.
Phosphorus, what are you eating?
Same
Oh,
here.
you're in the East Coast. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's
uh,
actually 2:34.
I'm in Indiana, but I'm eating a baked potato.
Oh, good choice.
So what are you guys going to do for Thanksgiving?
I'm
I
gonna eat
am.
turkey.
We're gonna do the same thing we did last year. Well, but this time, well, last year I was my wife and I and my mother. We went to there's a resort over here. They
Hmm.
serving Thanksgiving dinner, and it was nice. It was a nice view. But this time now, her parents are coming up this time, so that's what we're gonna do.
That's good.
Not gonna cook. Gonna have someone else cook, do the cooking.
You know the good thing about that is you don't have to do all the leftovers, so you don't end up being a fat, jolly freak for the next
Yeah.
3.
But you know what the thing is here? You know, like where it's yeah, Thanksgiving kind of bothers me because it's always supposed to be this whole family thing, you know.
Hmm.
And me and my brother and nephews, you know, just have grown apart, you know. It's kind of sad, but you know, it is what it is. And
Sorry.
like we were talking about having the older you get, the less time you have for bullshit, and unfortunately, it's your family sometimes, you know. And you know, I've always reached out, put out the olive branch, you know, invites and stuff, and do the giving, you know. You
Wait,
know, that's
why is your family not coming? Your family's not coming, you saying?
not my brother and his family, no,
Why not?
because he probably made plans with his in-laws,
Oh, okay.
like they usually do.
There's no, like, problems or anything like that, right? Or
He was saying that they've grown apart.
are they just grown apart? Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch the stuff that you're saying.
Oh, I'm sure there's some underlying stuff which won't get into, but it's something that you know things. You know, at a certain point, you have to get past things. You know, um, you wrong somebody, you're gonna forgive them or not, and you're gonna move forward. Sometimes that's not. You know, people might say they forgive, but actions tell otherwise, and you could just, you could just perceive that it's some, from that. It, that could just be part of the problem. It could be, there's just, other influences, the other side of the family. Um,
Yeah, there could be a whole bunch of things. Like I know there's some family members that just, you could say they kind of grown apart, but you know,
there's
sometimes
no
it's the
there's no
fear.
reciprocation. When there's no reciprocation in a relationship, that's what I guess. So I feel like it's very one way. So I've come to the point where I'm going to stop inviting because, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is, exactly.
You did your part, and
You know.
some people are just.
So Frank, what are you going to do?
Well, on Thursday I am going to my mom's house, and then on Friday, most likely I'm gonna probably hang out with some friends, and they're doing a separate type of Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
I can't forget. Oh, I can't forget. I'm sorry. After we have dinner, we're definitely coming back to the house because the Eagles are playing the Cowboys that day.
That's funny. That's really funny.
I'm
Um,
actually I'm planning to paint because I've been painting.
hmm.
So I'm gonna do some artwork on Friday.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm going back to my artistic roots.
That's cool.
I remember that time in the hangout you were doing oh, you were doing Airmean, weren't you?
No, I was doing Shira.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sure.
Not
Yeah.
all black women look
Yeah,
alike.
I know. See, I was gonna say that, but
Yeah,
see, I knew you were gonna
that
go
was
there.
very racist, brother John.
Yeah, I know. Coming from one that's married to a black woman.
I know, I know. I
They're
was
the
like,
most racist. What are you talking about?
and then Reuben doesn't celebrate. What about phosphorus? Can I
Oh,
just call you Kay? Because phosphorus is a lot to say. Can I just call you Kay?
most people call me Foss for short.
Where'd you get the K from?
Isn't
Yeah.
that a comic symbol?
I'm sorry.
Oh, call me. If you're gonna shorten it, call me Foss. But
Okay.
my grandma and my aunt will probably end up cooking a whole bunch of food, and we'll probably end up going to one of their two houses and having a really big meal. But that's probably about it.
That's right.
How about you, Airmean?
You know, it's interesting. For the past few years, I've done all the cooking and cooked for 20 to 25 people, and I'm trying to find a way to get out of it by maybe just cooking two or three of my signature dishes and not having to do everything. So, my kid's grown and I'm tired.
Do they come to your house?
They always come to my house, yeah.
So have everybody make their own plate and bring it.
Well, the problem is,
Everybody.
like, people really, really like my food, you know.
Okay.
So
So
once they're here, they get it.
not
So.
saying don't make any, but like you were saying, just make your two or three specialty dishes, and then have everyone else bring the rest.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have someone else do the turkey. But usually, if it's at your house, you do the turkey. You know what I mean? It's just like
Not
I know,
always.
I know. All that pressure. See what I mean? See what the holidays do? Give you all that pressure.
I have to make the stuffing. I have to make the sweet potatoes, the mashed potatoes, the green bean casserole, the sweet cornbread, and there's one other thing that people love that I make that oh, mac and cheese. It's almost like not a Thanksgiving or Christmas without those things, and I'm just like. And you got to cut everything up the night before. So you're cooking for 2 days for one meal.
Oh God, that's I could I
My
could.
daughter makes the deviled eggs, luckily, so I don't have to do that. Somebody will bring I don't even care if we do canned, what's it called, cranberries. I'm like over it.
It's okay. I mean, you don't have to feel guilty.
And then I will not do a dessert. I'm like, no way, you people are bringing
I
desserts.
mean, you don't have to feel guilty.
I do feel guilty already. I just don't
No,
want to do
Yeah,
no.
because you've been doing it for so long, and now you're expected to do it.
Mm,
Then when you don't do it, you're rude. Like what happened
mm,
to Armin? Armin is not cooking. She doesn't like us
yeah.
anymore, and
No more love for Airmean.
I know.
That's how it feels sometimes. And if anything, I just, and I love to cook and I love to entertain. It's just, I don't want to have to deal with a dirty kitchen. And
When nobody cleans up afterwards, you have to clean up.
generally, I have to do about 75% of it.
Well, that's not
Jesus,
right.
that is horrible.
On. People are upstairs watching TV. They're downstairs playing board games. My brother's jamming on the guitar, singing people's songs.
Yeah, everybody's having a great time while you washing dishes.
Exactly. And so it's just like,
What about the other women?
oh,
The other women are not helping. They usually go, in the kitchen together, cleaning up together.
Yeah, and gossiping about
Their
their
I have,
husbands.
wives and their
yeah,
husbands
because
and
I
their
have
sons, how freaking
Yeah,
horrible they are.
you guys have seen my space. I have an open floor plan. It goes kitchen, dining room, living room. It's like all one, everyone's just kind of like in the space. You know what I mean? Like there isn't like you can get away and gossip.
No, I mean, you better stop. You shouldn't even cook this year. So that's horrible.
tell
I'm
them you're on strike this year.
Yeah, that's screwed up. We forbade you from freaking cooking because if they're not helping you, You
No.
shouldn't even be doing shit, actually. You should just be like chilling and singing over there while they're cleaning up.
You're hilarious.
Yeah, that's right. Sitting back and having a hookah, man, while they clean up the
Yeah.
kitchen. You know?
Yeah,
Holy crap. No.
yeah, so that's why. I mean, I love it, but and it's weird for us. We don't watch. I don't have a TV, so everybody knows if you're going to Thanksgiving or means you can't watch football. Um,
Does
so it's,
anybody want to watch football?
oh yeah,
I can't watch football anymore. I can't watch any sports anymore.
Football's the only thing the only sport I watch.
I can't even do that.
yeah. I think I played one too many years of fantasy football, and I mean, I was done. I was done with sports after that. I still like March Madness because it's a short period of time. It's like a month. It's done. Um, that's it for sports I can remember.
Hey, Ryan is really upset. He said that nobody cares about him.
Oh, self-pity now. We're gonna get in self-pity mode?
Yeah, he's
All right,
really
if you hear, you
sad.
know we love you.
Yeah, just tell him we love him and we think he's hot, but he's drunk.
Yeah, man. It's
Well,
2:45 in the morning. I don't think I want to hear shit right now. You know, I want things to be semi-normal at this point.
um, if there's
Yeah, I
one
mean,
thing I
you
hate about
could give yourself a break, you know? You deserve to
Yeah,
give yourself a break. I mean, really. You know what I'm saying?
here, and
And
the other
your
thing,
kids are old and they should be helping out more.
yeah, you shouldn't be doing that.
I have one who does, can burn water. She just doesn't like to cook, not her thing.
Well, she can clean.
She doesn't like that either. She really, yeah.
She probably doesn't like to eat either. You should ask her. So you don't like
You
to
know,
eat?
like you hear my wife cooks and she cooks great. And you know what? I don't have a problem cleaning because that's it. You cook, I'll clean it. Not a problem. And I've washed dishes. It's therapeutic to me sometimes.
Oh, that's
So,
great. Well, when you're done with her house, you can come on over to ours. Uh,
no, I just, you know, I didn't say it
And that's
was.
perfect. You're not just sitting there like a lazy person just getting your stomach filled up. You're actually working. You're doing some activities. And I think you could actually enjoy Thanksgiving more because it's more
Movement.
movement, and not only that, it's you're doing something. You're just not just eating and just sitting there like it's some freaking restaurant.
yeah. Oh yeah, and then the gravy. I forgot gravy.
Yeah, so definitely. I mean, if I ever came to your house and you were cooking and stuff like that, definitely I'll wash the dishes. And,
You're always welcome.
thank you.
Let's
And I
head
could
over.
I
Let's head
could
over to
definitely smoke
Raymond's.
weed because it's Colorado. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, right, right.
I
Just
could
not in the
smoke.
house, right?
Yeah, outside, whatever, man. This shit is awesome. I wouldn't be worrying. I was like, I can smoke.
Do you have like another like a little pop party in the other room, Airmean, on Thanksgiving?
No, I don't like. I just don't want that stuff around my kid. But if people went in the basement, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, if people did it in the basement or something, I wouldn't care. Or on the front porch, somewhere like discreet though. I just, the last thing I want is munchies and Thanksgiving food. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Gain like 200 pounds.
Smoke before dinner.
Yeah, that might be a different way to get through dinner at times with the family. Um, we got like half my family who are lawyers and philosophers and frickin' know-it-alls. That was what I would say. Until philosophers are kings, I cannot agree with that after reading Ayn Rand. Or have Ayn. Anyway, that was what I was going to say earlier. But yeah, it's you know what the most fun I ever had at the holidays was playing Risk. Do you guys remember that game? That board
Yeah.
game?
I never played that game, and I always wanted to.
Yeah, it was all about world domination, and I thought that
Yeah,
was
I think I'll end up stabbing a person for real if I ever played that game.
it was so cunning.
Yeah, it's bad.
My favorite was Monopoly.
Yeah, Monopoly was just.
The problem is that went on for longer than the holiday. I mean, that game never ends.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
ever
that's
play that
straight up cutthroat game.
game.
Scrabble.
Yeah, we do
Um,
that now. We have a huge Scrabble board, and
Uno.
Remember Hungry Hungry Hippo?
yeah, I do. Nobody will play Scrabble with me anymore because I play so much online that I know way too many words, but I don't know the definitions, so I think that's cheating.
The game that I'm actually playing with my kids right now is Operation.
That was fun.
Yeah, my,
Yeah, I remember that.
my daughter's really good at that. You talk
I used
about
to
a
love
kid.
playing memory with my daughter when she was little. Do you remember that flashcard game, Memory, whatever?
Yeah, Memory. I have a computer game with that one too.
Oh yeah, that's how they do it nowadays. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
the computer. Yeah, it's actually pretty. I actually play it from time to time by myself.
Wow.
Okay, it's 2:50. I have to wake up at 7 in the morning, so
Just stay up all night.
no, I'm not going to do that anymore.
Okay.
I've been doing that for, this is bad.
Go get some
Um,
sleep, man.
yeah, yeah. I have a training to go to, so
All right.
yeah.
Well, thanks for stopping by.
No problem. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Reuben, Shalom, Phosphorus. Good seeing you. I mean, like always. And
Say goodbye to Ryan.
yes, well, Ryan, if you hear this broadcast, I don't want to type. Peace out, bro. Stay.
Phosphorus still with us?
Yeah, I just told Frank later. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, man. Yeah. Time
I'm
is
reading
certainly.
some Deepak Chopra now. Is he woo woo?
He would definitely be considered woo-woo to, like,
Who?
Jello, John May, maybe Ruben. Yeah, he said 100% woo. I was like reading a lot of, like, listening to woo like that. I haven't in past number of months.
What is it? Or who are you calling or saying that's into woo?
Oh, it's Deepak Chopra.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, okay.
How could you not have heard of Deepak Chopra?
Yeah, he's like Oprah's right hand.
Yeah. Chopra Oprah.
I don't know. Probably because I don't keep track of Oprah. So,
Well, I don't think hmm, I don't think I've heard of him through Oprah, actually.
Well, let's say this. Nobody keeps track of Oprah since she left regular television.
Yeah, true. Dr. Phil, remember? He's still around, right? Is he still around?
Yes, there
Still doing his show?
yep.
was a show.
Whenever I go over to my great grandma's, she's usually got that on television.
See, she must keep track of Oprah.
Maybe. Okay, this guy's an alternative medicine advocate and all that stuff. Okay.
I guess at this point I'm gonna stop the live broadcast unless anybody want to invite anybody in.
You can invite Ryan then.
You want to taste the Ryan?
I might leave after a little bit, so it's up to you. No, but after the live broad, I just can't put up with too much shenanigans during the live. So,
Oh, okay. Ryan, if you're still listening, I'm sending you out an invite. You're gonna perk things up for us.
yeah, I definitely will keep it lively. And if he gets too out of control, one of us can eject him. I'm so nice to hang out with you guys and not talk about religion. That was really cool.
Yeah, we touched on a little bit, but yeah, nothing crazy.
That thing,
Yeah.
we were ready to cut someone up over.
Let me.
What about the usual? Like, what about Cerberus, Heck, or Cerberus? And
I invited them there. I invited they were in my circles.
Joe Stackhouse. And
I know. I think they're having a video call right now. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't checked. Adam, haven't seen Adam in a while. What's up?
What's up, man? I haven't seen you in like literally months.
do I know Adam?
You there, Adam?
Oh, he says he has no mic.
Oh,
Hello.
I thought I heard him for a sec. Oh, I guess not. Well, we kind of have two Rubens in the room. What else is there that's interesting? Oh, nobody knew if they came out with a verdict on Ferguson? Grand jury?
I don't know. I haven't been following it. The only thing I've heard about is what other people are talking about.
See where they are in the news. Yeah, it's really interesting because Ferguson is calling out their National Guard to anticipate some of the events and violence and protesting that can happen. But I think a lot of big cities should be.
Well, that might be a good idea, yeah.
Because I don't think that this is something that can definitely just affect a small town, but I think that, you know, this is going to sound horrible. We're still on air. I'll just say this nicely then. I can see a lot of cities who don't need much of an excuse to find a reason to loot,
Hmm.
and this would give them reason if they don't at least indict him. But it feels a lot like Rodney King all over again, just in the way that people are reacting to it. I know more about the case with Rodney King. Heck, there was a video that showed it all that still they got off. Um, but I think this Ferguson thing, there's just so many different perspectives on it, that it's not even as, I mean, the evidence doesn't seem as great as it did against the police officers involved with Rodney King, and yet people are ready to really take a stand. And it worries me sometimes.
I don't know. I don't get any of that vibe here.
Yeah, I don't know where here is. Um, I just know that people have left from all corners of the nation to protest there, in Middle America. And there just are cities that don't need much in places that are just so, the area is just so volatile. That's fair. That something like this can set off the wrong group of people. I don't know. We're all so apathetic in this day and age that we don't take a stand on much. And when we do, I guess I wonder where all the looting, and not looting, but where all the picketing and all that stuff, when an entire banking culture almost took down our economy. You know, like where were we all standing up when the Patriot Act was passed? Like stuff that really, really, and I hate to say that Ferguson doesn't matter, but, and maybe it's a microcosm that's still indicative of a larger problem in our society, but I just wonder where chutzpah goes when real things that are really going to impact who we are as people get signed in and get and happen to us, and we all sit around and like pick our nose and complain because our internet isn't as fast as it was a week ago.
Well, that's really it, right? It's because of things. It's because we've all got too much. Either we're either too busy or we've got too much entertainment to worry about, so nobody really cares about these actually important things. Everybody's got their own personal thing going on, and the effects of these bigger issues are so drawn out that we don't see it immediately or in a personal way. So it's like it just seems distant and irrelevant. Even though we don't necessarily consciously think that, we don't feel that it's relevant.
So we're all myopic. We can't even blame, certain sectors of society for being that way. We've all gotten that disease. We were
Yeah,
talking about that earlier on.
or at least most people, yeah. And the few people that actually do anything are usually demonized in the media for whatever reason. They're
That's
always down on and down on and stuff. And
But some of these same people also educating others and making them aware of the problem. I think another which is a good thing. The other thing is I think that um, most would say the problem is too big. What can we really actually do about it? Do we have any control of the situation? I mean, when you're dealing with the bankers and government, people in power, I mean, how much can you do? And so I think there's that feeling of powerlessness. When, I tend to look at the things what what can I just in what ways can I do that, right here in my home? Not so much nationally and going out picketing, but educating myself in how to, find those loopholes and everything you're dealing with banking and finances and stuff like that, and and work at it that way. So I think people being educated more on a personal level and empowering themselves just within their families. So they're not out there picketing, but maybe just making a change. I don't know. And then just trying to educate other people. Here's the problem. There's no fucking money out there.
It's funny for me because after I had a different reaction after I saw Katrina. I think most people saw Katrina and they're like, "Oh my God, the government isn't doing anything for us," or "Look at everything that's happening bad to these people." And they so many different opinions came out, and I just sat there dumbfounded. And I remember looking over my family and just saying, "Right there is evidence enough why you have to do everything in your power in this lifetime to um, essentially like create your own assurances because
Hmm.
nobody's going to do it for you."
Right.
Like, and it was just like, I just remember that moment just being like, you have to pick yourself up from your bootstraps. You have to, whatever the situation is you've been dealt, you cannot count on any government support.
Hmm.
And in some respects, nor should you, because, like, if it happens, great. But you can't ever expect that it's going to be there. I don't care. Like, in our day and age, there's no way I can ever count on Social Security.
That's why there's more power in the communities. It's got to happen on a community level.
It's just, you can't trust fellow man. You can't, it's just baffling.
Well, I don't think I can't trust anybody.
No, not anybody, but you go back to like some of the scenes from Katrina, and people are killing people, people are like stabbing or whatever, horrible violence over water. You go to like the Titanic, you see when it's like people just surviving, and you just see like that whole Hobbes and Rousseau kind of like people are inherently like you just see this like different side of people where it's like and it's not to say you can't trust anybody, and I didn't make it sound like that. It's just you have to really be able to do it for yourself. And it's some degree it's unfortunate. You hope that there's some
That's
thought
why, yeah.
and stuff like that when you do fall and you do take a risk and you don't always get there.
Hmm.
But and so you do want that, and I think society should offer that. But at the same time, oh my gosh,
Should always have a plan B.
yeah.
I don't know what happened to Ryan.
Maybe he went to sleep.
He was talking to Kazum and a few other people in one of the
You
stern.
know, the problem is see this the the account I have the Hangout under here, the whole Google freaking thing fucked me up. So I got two Brother Johns, and so the one that this Hangout is connected to my YouTube channel, and the other one is just the video calls. So I don't see unless I open up another browser.
What if I just gave him the link?
Yeah, you could do it. If
Oh,
you
you
see
know
him
what? I don't.
if-
I don't think I have him circled.
I can do it real quick.
Okay.
yeah, plus send Ryan the link. Thanks. Oh wait, now Ryan sent me I'm just gonna put in the damn freaking event page. Whoever crazies. Come on, crazies. Come on in.
How many people were watching? There can't be
I
too
don't
many
know.
crazies at this hour.
No. Who's watching now? One person. It's probably Ryan.
What are they saying about me? You guys hurt my feelings.
What's
Ooh,
that?
we're going to have a mathematics discussion, really. Oh, God, quantum fractions. Oh, Adam, that's a separate conversation. Oh. Oh, Adam, too much.
Excuse-moi.
Right? I'm like, what are quantum fractions? Excusez-moi.
Well, yeah, he said he was going to come in here, but it's taken an awful long time to come in.
Well, that's probably because he's still in the middle of a sentence, aka 250 words with lots of semicolons.
Wait, did he just take the link and post it somewhere else? Yeah, he did.
Where'd he post it?
He posted in an old Hangout, next in the external to an old Hangout with like 29 people.
There he is. He couldn't come in without getting some of his cronies. Who else came in with him? Let's see here.
There he is.
I don't know who that Nathaniel is. Hi, Nathaniel. There's Ryan.
So, man.
So, Ryan, we're in need of a good laugh. It's your turn to entertain us.
Hey guys,
What's up, man?
I love your picture. You know that.
Nathaniel, how you doing?
Hey, I'm on my phone, so we'll see how well it works. But it's a brand new phone, so probably works well.
What kind of a phone is it?
iPhone 6 Plus.
Yeah, it probably works well.
Yeah.
Well,
Ryan, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? Ryan? Oh, Ryan! Oh, Ryan. Oh, Ryan.
there is thinking about Thanksgiving and things that are getting things is that.
Hey Ryan, this isn't Nadia's Hangout that you told me that I should. Oh, Gav said I should be in it for some reason.
Totally blew it, man. I told you Nathaniel thinks he's in Nadia's Hangout. Thanks a
Yeah.
lot.
Oh, you're more than welcome to go to Nadia's Hangout.
He is.
Well,
He's been asking me for about 20 minutes, and I thought it was hilarious.
well,
He's asking-
because Gabrielle said that I should be in there for some reason, and Ryan said he would give me the link because I'm on my phone. So that's where I thought I was going to be, but it doesn't matter. It's okay.
He gave you the wrong link.
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and you guys blew it so
You
fast.
guys are nice too, and I see Ruben's in here, so it's probably Ruben's hangout, and it's cool.
But that's not the point, Nathaniel. They totally blew the surprise. It was supposed to be hilarious for a while.
Oh, joke on us. Ha ha ha.
We could have just pretended we were Nadia. Anyways, yeah, Nathaniel.
Yeah, when am I
going.
getting my 50 shekels, Ruben?
No! This is not cool because Nathaniel is friends with my boy,
Wait,
John
will you stop
Wozniak.
that?
Hey,
No,
hey,
I
Ryan.
won't stop it. That's the only reason I even like talking to you.
Here we go. Hey, Ryan. What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
What is Thanksgiving?
What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
What is Thanksgiving?
Well, you know what it is, man. What are you gonna do on that day?
Are you doing anything on that day?
Yes, actually, I have a really awesome plan. You guys, you really want to know it, but it's okay.
Tell me.
But no. What I want to do is, since Ruben is in here, I do
No.
want to. I do want to make peace with Ruben, and maybe on Thanksgiving, hopefully, I can be thankful that I have peace with Ruben. And Nathaniel, this is a way better hangout than any hangout you could have with. So,
No, it depends. I mean, it depends who she has in there and why I'm supposed to be in there.
Mm.
It's got nothing to do with who's running the hangout or, you know, who. Oh, there we go. Okay,
Oh,
she's calling me,
fuck's
so
sake.
I gotta go.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, wait a minute.
Nathaniel, you still better give me.
You and Nadia have something?
Man.
What's
Yeah,
going on?
I know. Yeah. You guys totally fucking blew it. God. All right. See, you don't understand. First of
Well,
all,
Ryan, you gotta let me in on the joke. I mean, how am I supposed to know what the hell's happening here?
First of all, I wanted to talk. First of all, I'm glad to be here and thankful to be on the hangout, and
Awesome.
I want to talk with you guys. But
Just behave yourself.
secondly, correct, and I should, and don't be afraid to tell me when I'm out of line. But secondly, no, that guy says he grew up with John Wozniak, who is the songwriter and the first creator of Marcy's Playground, who, in me, in my adolescent youth, was heavily influenced and really enjoyed that entire album. It was like Marcy's Playground album was awesome. So he just kept bugging the shit out of me to get into Nadia's Hangout. I was like, yeah, I can totally get you into Nadia's Hangout. Like, which I kind of actually did think I could, but I don't think Nadia's paying attention. I mean, obviously, I was asking. I was like, yo, I need this guy. He needs to get me Hangout. That is. So the joke was, I finally, this had been going on for like 20 minutes. I told him, I was like, dude, I'll get you in. And then so finally, my friend Foss, Phosphorus Truth, and of course, Brother John, I'm glad to be in on this hangout, but finally I got a link, so I was like, yeah, here's the link. and I knew, hold on, and I knew that he was on his phone, so I knew that if I just did the correct voice interpretation, that actually I could have prolonged it for a while, which, if you close your eyes, I'm actually really good at an audio interpretation, but that's not the point.
So this guy.
I'm sorry if you ever kind of mad, but I was trying to say that if you were talking about me or this guy or whoever he was, well, who was the guy and who am I? And no, but yeah, so that was the point, and thank you guys. Anyways, I'm gonna mute myself. Except for the fact that I do want to make peace with Ruben. I don't even know if he's listening, but Ruben, I do want to make peace with you. That is important with me. Important to me. But anyways. Cheers. Thanks for having me. And I freaking love Adam's band. It's the best. That's the best, dude. Yeah, see, we're already friends, because I feel like we already talked about this. Yep.
I wish I could be a fly on the wall in your head.
I've heard that a lot.
You get buzzing drunk.
Actually, the only thing that drinking does is let me speak a little bit, but I'm quite reserved when. Anyways, I believe the topic is deism a religion? Is that correct?
That is not the topic.
That was a
What are you
different
doing
video.
for Thanksgiving?
Actually, Brother John left, so that was his. I think it's foolish to have one day of giving thanks, and that's why I laugh at the idea of Thanksgiving. I try to be thankful every day. I try, doesn't mean I do, but I do try every day. And often I am thankful every day. Or most days. That's why I think it's hilarious that people call it Thanksgiving. Like, yeah, you should be thankful every day. You should be giving thanks every day. Yeah. But what I am going to do, actually, is pre-order my, that doesn't matter. You know what I intend to do? I'm going to, I have my friend who is, he's not white, okay? He's not black, okay? He's like in the middle.
Okay.
What would you call that?
Well, is he like both, or is he some other race?
Exactly. That's why I think it's hilarious when people talk
that's
about
not.
race.
That's not what I meant.
No, I know, but that's why we're all mixed up. That's why I love that if people get racist at any idea, I can make any joke. But anyways, no, this guy runs this badass little smokehouse shop out of the corner of a gas station. Now, do you think he's black or white? Anyways, again, see, that's hilarious. No, I am pre-ordering a turkey, and I'm eating it by myself intentionally. Well, no, Lindsay's gonna come over later. My girlfriend's gonna come over. We're gonna have everything. But I'm gonna lay in bed, be lethargic, and eat a turkey.
I think this is a made-up girl. I don't think you have a girlfriend.
Well, I mean, that's fine. That's your just. I'm just telling you, that's what I'm gonna do because I don't believe in bread and circuses. I don't believe in the idea that St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Veterans Day, Memorial Day, President's Day, Flag Day. What else? What else we got? What else we got? Come on, think about it. Easter. What else? Come on, Columbus Day. Yep, Columbus Day. What else?
Wait,
What else?
what did you say you don't believe in?
Brett, I do not believe in the idea that and boss, see, you helped me the other day to bread
Yeah,
and circuses. I don't believe in. Oh, look at Reuben. See, Reuben, are we gonna have peace or not? Or you just gonna stalk me on Facebook? I don't care. Intensely. Whatever. I am who I am. Anyways, I'm pretty sure I thought this hangout was because of brother. Which, anyways, Brother John could be kind of whining. So, Reuben, can we make peace or not? We're not at war, so we can't make peace. Well, we can be peaceful because I could be pretty sure I used to be totally against you, which technically would be a conflict, which if it was a massive scale, technically we could be war. And so, Reuben, I will tell you, and so many people would love to be here when I tell you this, and I've told them this before, fine, I think you're a real person.
How much have you drank tonight, Reuben? Or Reuben? I mean Ryan.
Exactly. Ask Reuben. I don't know how much.
Oh, you. You seem like really, really drunk, more than normal, man.
I am kind of drunk.